And of course we are coming to you from the Nest. It is Sale's main oval this afternoon. It's a big clash. It's the 5th place Sale Magpies hosting the number 1 ranked side in the competition so far in the Leongatha Parrots. The reigning premiers. It's the grand finalists from last season. And of course Leongatha going a little bit better than what the Magpies are at the moment, but they do have a very strong side on paper. My name's Daryl Cooling. My
is that you need to give up a little bit of your game to stop your opposition's game. It's not all about what you do, it's a little bit about what you don't allow your opposition to do. And as a result of overall be too strong, their big bodies will prove to be the difference.
Looking forward to it. Number 1 stats man in the business is Paul Carter. He joins us this afternoon. Here's all thanks to Terrelgan Subaru, the all-new Subaru Crosstrek. Beautiful vehicle. You want to check it out, it's down near the Leongatha coaching box down there. Paul Carter, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Daryl and gents. Yeah, certainly a good day for it. Like you say, no breeze. They used to have the dental floss up there, but they've got a decent windsock there now, showing that they're generally a light zephyr. I don't think favouring anyone, and the ground looked in pretty good nick. First time we saw them, we expected a really good game from a grand final rematch, and it was a big fizzer. The highlights were Jack Ganane and Jensen Garnham kicking bags of goals. I'm sure it's going to be a lot closer this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to it.
Nick Luceno joins us for Carpet Country. Nick, thank you for coming this afternoon. It's good to have you on board.
I'm glad to be here, Scud, too, and it'll be a great game. Everyone's taken up all the limelight in regards to the comments about the game, but it'll be a great one, and we're nearly close to the centre bounce.
Well, here we are. We're about to get things underway. It's round 10 of the Alinta Energy Gippsland League. It's at the Sale main oval. It's the Magpies and the Parrots.
Okay, Dane McInnes, the big ruckman for Sale, will do battle with Ben Willis. Ball thrown up. Willis got first touch. Marriott tried to reel it in, couldn't. Ball spills out. First player there, Kim Drew. Can he get a handle on it? Tackled by Lang. Good tackle it was too, but they move it forward nicely through Heppel, and inside forward 50, the visiting side go. They can't get past Glenane, and now they change direction quickly, do Sale. Is that an indication of what they might do throughout the afternoon? Time will tell. Taken off the ball all too easily was the Sale defender. Ball goes inside forward 50. I thought Mark was paid. Play on was the call. Lang gets a touch. Quick kick forward. And now you'll find it's McLaren. Jack McLaren comes grandstand side. And players are beaten to the ball by the boundary. First player there for Sale was Harry Ronke.
Some big matchups there too for Sale as well. Both the Leslie boys have got the 2 forwards for Sale, Ganane and Garnham. So looking forward to that matchup for the afternoon.
Boundary throw in, true centre wing. It's McLaren in the front spot, squeezed a handle out nicely to Lang. Right foot kick goes inside forward 50. Dessert was the target, just worked underneath it by Forrester. Running on was Freeman, ran down from behind, holding the footy. Great tackle on that occasion by Mitch Ben-Velzen for the Parrots. He slows things up. Of course, it's first versus 5th, the Leongatha side. Nice little neat kick. Finds a teammate on this near side. And it looks to be on that side. Is it Lindsay? No, it's not. It's Mason McGann it is. I think maybe one of his first games for the year. Kick goes down the wing. Jack Leslie was there, though, for the Magpies. Puts it back inside forward 50. And again, Mitch Velzen takes the mark in his defensive 50. No score.
He goes through the corridor. Number of options. Chooses the best one. Sam Forrester takes the mark. Plays on quickly. Left leg. Kicks to advantage. Can he find a teammate out of sight of the ground? He can indeed. It's Jackson Henry, who in turn goes to half forward flank. Picks up his teammate there. I reckon that's Jesse Burns from outside 50. Within 20 metres of the Parrots' goals. Picked up nicely by Will Leslie. He's picked up nicely. Also dropping the ball to the call. It's a big call because Taylor Brill has got the reward and will, you'd think, convert for the big major of this first quarter.
Love the game of Brill at the moment. The East versus West game was one with a game where he really stepped up and played some great football. His pressure inside 50 just ticked the box for me again, because his pressure that game as well was quite rectified. So he's going for a shot 30 metres out there, boys.
All right, so Taylor Brill, 20 metres out, directly in front, off the boot, looks okay. Drags it left a touch. Oh, drags it left a touch too much.
Wow.
Minus score.
And the first mention of the Virtue Homes scoreboard to come just short of the 3-minute mark, and it's 1 behind to Leongatha.
It is the first quarter, all thanks to Virtue Homes. You can be inspired by Virtue Homes if you're looking at building a house. Hudson Holmes rolls in, plays on, gains an extra 5 metres, kicks it out towards the far side of the ground. Leslie was the target, couldn't get there. Maskell handball over the shoulder to Marriott. McLaren tried to pick it off and does so nicely. He goes backwards by hand, this time to Diamond. Gives it to Jack Johnson, beautifully done. They got some run. It's Whitford on the half-back flank, goes to half forward now. It's over the top of the head of Brad Descent. Coming the other direction was Steve Forrester. Now he's under pressure. That's throwing the footy.
Great work there by Brad Descent. Just for a big man, he got pushed up the ground as well and managed to put on a fantastic tackle.
Kick just missed the target of Martin, allowed Harry to come in the other direction. Ronke tries to win it back. Harry puts his head over the football, wins the free kick.
Interesting matchup there too for Descent, and as well, Steve Forrester finds himself on Brad Descent. Would have once upon a time would have been Westerweight.
Harry squares it up out wide to Dixon. He's been a good recruit for the Parrot side this year across half-back. Inboard handball to Hume. In the unfamiliar spot across half-back as he drives it to the wing. Ganane is the target. Good work by Leslie. And we know that he's got some wheels, but he just slowed up occasion and didn't have anyone to kick to. The kick was a little bit errant. It goes out to the top of his 50. Here's Forrester. Handballs over the top. This time it's out towards Turton on the wing. Comes inboard to Heppel. One hand up. Couldn't bring it in. Ground level it goes. Burns has the head over the football with Jack Johnson. And we're going to stoppage, although they let it go. Will Leslie bursts out of the pack.
Oh, here we go.
It in, over the top. Brad Descent will mark, run into an open goal, and top of the square. And the Magpies get the first.
And this is where I find a little bit unassuming, when Jack Ganane can be one of those players that can be, misjudged by, the way he plays the game. Just then, Will Leslie's just tested him a few times, played up the ground, tested him all the way through. When we would have thought it was a free kick, the umpire said play on. So I got him all flat-footed, but Will Leslie continued that run. And Brad Descent, who started the game really well, kick over the top, running goal. What a great start for Sale.
And it's a 5-point lead to Sale at the 5-minute mark. And the Virtue Home scoreboard, where the Magpies 1 goal straight, 6. Leongatha 1 behind, 1 point.
It looks like a deliberate ploy for Will Leslie to make sure Glenane works hard as the ball thrown up. First touchdown, McLaren couldn't quite get a handball out. He fights hard to keep it in the centre. And he does just that, the central umpire, to ball it up.
And we still find Jack Johnson now. He normally plays on a half-back line. He's playing himself forward, so really testing and stretching in the Leongatha side at the moment too.
All right, Will's got the tap down, but he only went to as far as the opposition ruckman in Dane McGuinness. Falls to the ground. Marriott handballs off, finds his teammate there in Jack Hume. Kicks to within 30 metres, 1-on-1. Good work by Jack Leslie. Brought the ball to the front of the pack, and now the race is on. I reckon that's Rowan Diamond, first player there.
Free kick.
Free kick paid. Goes the way of Lang. Lang gives it back to the player I just mentioned, Rowan Diamond. Nice space found, and off they go. They do it really neat, don't they? It was Whitford that goes inside forward 50, and almost all too easily you see Jack Butcher on the end of it, or is it Kane Martin that got it from Butcher? So Kane Martin could bring up Sale's second in the space of a couple of minutes.
So both times they've got him on the hop. So they've got him flat-footed, got the ball inside 50 really quickly. Martin was in a great position then too. Great work by Rowan Diamond, getting that ball inside really quick.
Okay, so Kane Martin from 45 metres out on the slightest of angles. Left foot goes bang!
Wow,
and Sale go back-to-back.
This is really good though, because Sale last week, when I watched the game here last week, when they played Terrell, they got off to a slow start, and that was their biggest Achilles heel because they had to play catch-up footy and they lost the game. Today it's the opposite. Even though we saw the first 5 minutes, it was turnover footy. Both sides just didn't know what to do with the ball. The last 2 goals from Sale, they were good, they were clean, got the ball inside 50 and they've scored both times.
Sale now out to an 11-point lead. We're at the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. The Virtue Home scoreboard, Sale 2 goals straight, 12. Leongatha 1 behind, 1 point.
Nick Lichetto all over this game style at the moment, all thanks to Carpet Country, helping dreams become a reality since 1981. Back to the middle they go. Bowman was there. Coming the other direction was Allison. Little kick there by Whitehill was partially smothered. Hume now for Leongatha. Handball to Marriott. Barrels it inside forward 50. Oh, Leslie's just done the soccer off the through mid-air. He gained himself 15-20 metres towards the boundary. Jack Johnson was under pressure. Got a handball to Will Leslie. Over the top to Jack. They're full of run. And the back line is very strong. Holmes, a neat little kick to Diamond. Inboard 45 kick. Oh, it's good. To McGuinness, to Allison. The Magpies are up and about. The kick to McLaren, just at his toes. Inside forward 50. Martin, he just had to get a little foot to it because on his own was Brad Descent. He'll get it now. Yes, he does.
Like it.
The transition football boxer, unbelievable for the Magpies.
Killer style football at the moment. They're Scud. They're prepared to take the game on. And they're doing it with in intent as well. So they're really challenging the Leongatha side, saying if you want to challenge us now, have a go, because they are doing it. All led by the Leslie boys down back, because they're winning the ball and running it forward straight up.
So Brad Desson's already got one this afternoon. The Magpies lead it by 11 points. We've gone 8 minutes into the first quarter. And Descent lines up for his second from only 25 metres out. He likes it off the boot. And the Magpies fans celebrate again. 8.5 minutes gone. Descent's got two.
It's incredible. Round one, when we saw these two sides play together, Leongatha sent him on a merry way. They didn't even let him get near the ball at all. It's the other way around now. Sale have now come in and said, we'll play with some courage, and they're playing with good courage at the moment too, because they're willing to play the ball through the middle of the ground, and each time they've done that, they've scored. So well done to the Sale side so far this game, but don't write off Leongatha yet.
Virtue Home scoreboard at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. It's now a 17-point lead to Sale, who are 3 goals straight 18. Leongatha one behind 1 point.
Scud, Marty wants to know, I made dreams come to reality in 1998. So she wants to know why I only do it now.
Was that the only time?
Yes.
Okay. A very good afternoon to you, Marty. Hopefully enjoying your Saturday away from Nick.
Yeah, the absolute backbone to that family, no question. As Sale go forward again, McGuinness feeds it off nicely to Lang, and Lang goes inside 50. It's going to fall short. Who's going to be the first player there? Looks as though it might be, just might be, Patrick Tainchi. Couldn't bring the ball in. A beautiful tackle by Freeman. And the key to winning is believing. And getting a start like this has the Sale Magpies side believing.
Forrester holding his head on that occasion, thought that the tackle might have been high, but the umpire said no, it was fair.
Now, it was a good tackle, and a great tackle. Their pressure inside, they've been relentless inside their forward 50 Sale. So one of those things with Leongatha is just that reset. But if they get this fourth one in a row, makes it a little bit tough task now for Leongatha.
Yeah, so Jared Freeman directly in front will kick from just inside 50. He'll take one of his best. It's going to fall short. Have they got a winner there? They haven't. In fact, it's marked last line of defence by the big ruckman in Ben Willis for Leongatha. Handball's off. The 1-2. On the end of it's Maskell outside 50. But there's one-on-one contests, and Sale are winning those contests. Square. Can they kick it through for another goal? They can't. The player at the bottom of the pack, I reckon, might be McLaren. Yep. It is McLaren, last player up for Sale.
Good tackle by
And there is no room to move for this visiting Leongatha side.
Not, and Brad Dessent is on at the moment, so just be really wary of that move one at the moment.
So 2 metres out from Sale's goal. McGuinness keeps it in. Back there is a quick kick around the body. Was it Brill? Goes down to ground. Looks to be laying at ground level now. We're 45 metres out from Sale's goal. They fight hard. Leongatha got some numbers over it and hitting that one hard and at pace. And it looks to be Kim Drew. He's starting to grow the beard, so it looks a little bit different this afternoon in that Parrots. He's won himself the free kick. 11 minutes in. They trail by 17 points. That's right. The number one side, Leongatha, trail by 17 as the kick from Kim Drew trickles out of bounds. We've got a boundary throw in right in front of the Leongatha coaching box here.
It's just reset time now for Leongatha, Scud. They just need to work out what's happening here at the minute and try and peg one back.
All right, McGuinness gets front position. Couldn't find a teammate. In fact, first player there was Bowman. He couldn't take the ball. And there'll be a ball up. Sale player Cooper Whitehill holding down his opponent. And Kim Drew, who a moment ago just put the ball out of bounds. Willis goes boundary side. Lang, first player there. Beats Marriott to the ball. His kick smothered. So it'll be a throw in again. Right half forward flank. Sale kicking to the right of your radio. Sale leading by 17 points. 11 3/4 minutes gone first quarter. McGuinness does the ruck work. This time he was up against Lockie Wright, number 18 for Leongatha. Ground level. Allison was the player there. Couldn't quite get the handball out. Central umpire takes control again. Right half forward flank. 5 metres in from the boundary. Sale into attack. They've done most of the attacking today. We'll catch up with forward 50 certainly shortly with Paul Carter. Kim Drew, quick kick forward. Lang picks it up. Marriott picks Lang up. Free kick goes Lang's way.
It's funny, the umpire just called in the back. Actually, it was holding the man.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Nick Cullis. But at the same time, it should be a 50. And Shannon Lang is asking for the 50. He's been in everything at the moment, Lang.
He looks proppy too,
He
doesn't
does
Lang?
after that particular tackle.
He's been sore most of the year as well.
Yeah, so he goes along the boundary, all 50 metres. In fact, he goes through the corridor. I reckon it's Maskell that's marked that almost too easily. He looks to the left, looks to the right and thinks, you know what? I don't even know where I should go. So he goes safety and finds McGannon. Left half-back flank now for the Parrots.
Well, the Sale defence have been really good so far in the opening 13 minutes of this first quarter, thanks to Virtue Holmes. They've got nowhere to go, so the kick goes down the line. It's 3-on-1. And the three Sale defenders, I tell you what, box up. When you got a Holmes, you got a Johnson, and you got two Leslie boys, you can chuck in a Whitford and chuck in a Ronke. It's a good, solid
100%
defence.
agree. Sometimes I've been really critical of both Leslie boys at the moment, but they're on song at the minute, and so what that does, it lifts the back line too of the Sale side. They're playing good footy at the minute.
Head over the football was Drew. Couldn't take it cleanly. Fighting hard was McLaren. He's an improved player of the competition. Squeezes out to Glenane of Sale. Good handball out the back. It just missed Hudson Holmes, though. Got shoved in the back. Gets a handball to Whitehill, who just left it behind. Talon Brill now puts his head over the footy for Leongatha to cause the stoppage. Inside their forward 50, but it's all scrappy for the Parrots so far.
As soon as the ball's in contest, though, Scud, it's 2-on-1. It's Sale's favour, so they're really making it hard for Leongatha.
So Leslie tapped it down. Jack Marriott tried to pinch it. Got tackled by two Magpies. We've got a stoppage. It is 14 minutes gone. 17-point the margin, favour of Sale. Paul Carter, key stats. Inside 50s will be an interesting one.
It's 8-5 Sale's way.
Okay, so scoreboard not a real reflection of that, although Sale are leading, as you'd expect. Too high is the tackle. It was on a Leongatha player. That player for the Parrots was Talon Brill. From outside 50, wants to play on, dances around the man of the mark. That man was Whitehill, then kicks, top of the square, 3v2.
Oh.
Good mark, good mark. And that's Hudson Holmes, who's been good today too. If you've seen the show Hudson Hawk with Bruce Willis, he's as cool as anything. And I tell you what, Hudson Holmes is not far off. He runs hard. He picks up another possession from defensive 50, goes kick towards the outer side. They've got runners left, right and centre. And now Glenane, he nearly got it if it wasn't for the pressure from McGannon, the turnover, and it was nicely done. The handball came from Harry to Lindsay, and they go inside forward 50. But again, Glenane's outnumbered 2-1, and as a result of that, Will Leslie picks up the ball. It's smothered, and he took the ball over the boundary line. He was under pressure, he did the right thing.
He was that good. It was smothered. He nearly marked the smothered kick to bring it back in. He was that determined to get it back because he knew he snuffed it. But it was a point there for Leongatha.
And it's a 16-point lead to Sale. We've played 15 minutes and the Virtue Holmes scoreboard sailed 3 straight 18. Leongatha 2 behind 2 points.
Be inspired by Virtue Holmes today as Ronke brings it back in, kicks to the wing area. There's a shove. And
Freeman.
Yep, will go Leongatha's way. Cade Maskell started well early.
I reckon it's one of the best moves ever. Cade Maskell from half forward to half back. It's just a beautiful kick.
So he doesn't know where to go again. Just gets himself in a little bit of pressure. High kick inside 50. Leslie has got all the time and just plucks it with one wing.
Who needs two?
He puts it across. The switch kick goes back to Sandyman, who can come inboard now to Jack Johnson. They're just holding on. They're picking the defence apart at the moment. Johnson nicely done. Burns put him down afterwards. Doesn't matter anyway because Wallace took the mark. Gives it off to Holmes by hand. To the wing, it's 50-50. Lindsay did well. Ground level there was Marriott. They're going to reload the Parrots. Harry gets it with a handball out the back. Here's Heppel. He's got a little bit of space. He can turn and run and carry. 60 metres out. Lowers the eyes. Missed the target though. And the Magpies, Johnson played for the free kick, but it was high box.
Yeah, it was high. Even though it was the smallest player on the ground that gave away the free kick, Johnson just used his experience to win that free kick.
And they're spreading them from defence too. They're hoping and helping themselves to changing direction. They're doing that a little bit too comfortably at the moment. Hudson Holmes, another mark. Defensive 50. Trying to work out where his next disposal will go. Goes towards the corridor again. I think he went looking for Leslie, or was it Descent? It was Descent he went looking for. Nicely taken by Dixon. Guy Dixon dances around an opponent, then kicks to within 30. Punched by Leslie. Fall of the ball is Allison. Couldn't take it with him. That one will be too high. What?
Hello. Oh, he's called holding the ball.
He's called holding the ball. I can tell you right now, the Sale player had him head high.
Wow.
In fact, got confused, thought he had the ball in his hands, went to kick it, he had a head. The umpire didn't see any of that. Maybe I made it up. But Sale have got the ball importantly. They go towards the outer side of the ground where Will Leslie, and look at all players swarm towards the outer side of the ground where Leslie will now kick for touch. It's cut off nicely by Jackson Harry.
Harry goes back. He's going to get it straight back to Leslie though. Couldn't quite complete the mark. In the back there was Johnson, who got ridden by Burns.
Oh dear.
And the handball from Will Leslie missed everyone.
So Will Leslie's been guilty of just his skill level at the moment. Sorry, Paul.
Here's what the Sale defence is doing. The last 7 inside 50s have been Leongatha's, 1 behind only.
They're very stingy at the moment, Box.
They are, and I just said skill level coming out, and it's been Will Leslie at the minute who's let himself down just with a couple of errant kicks and a couple of handballs as well.
Lockie Wright takes the ruck duties for Leongatha, but Sale got some numbers. Allison gave it to Holmes, who just kicked it outside his defensive 50 again. However, Leongatha will go again, this time Borshman, and he'll miss the target going inside forward 50. This time, guess who? It's Jack Leslie again.
It's the Leslie show today.
And he's so cool with his hands on the footy. This occasion might not be his best option because he's kicked it straight down the throat of big Benny Willis. Can Leongatha find some sort of movement inside forward 50? The hand out the back to Kim Drew. His left foot kick is to a one-on-one. Front spot there was Wallace.
Oh dear, another free kick.
And Heppel gave away the free kick. So Adam Wallace for the Magpies gets things going quickly. Is it to Diamond, who can square it out wide to Cooper Whitehill? You look down the line, it might have been Patrick Tainch who was the one. They've both got the long sleeves, but Hudson Holmes now has it. His short kick to Allison. They haven't travelled too far and they're still in their back half. We've gone 19 minutes. They chip the kick again. Sale lead it by 16 at the moment. McLaren goes inboard, short again. 20, 25 metre kicks, that's all they're doing. Lands in the hands of Martin now. He's in the defensive side of his circle, right in the square.
Geez, Lang should have been the option if he ran to the right position coming off the bench.
He drives it a half forward and maybe he should have gone there because Maskell's reading it well.
Yeah, they're slowing the game down. It just goes into Leongatha's hands straight away. They just get the numbers back.
Yep, so Maskell goes to Bowman, feeds it off nicely, and here we go again. This time it's Garnham, is it, that goes inside forward 50. Race is on. Guess what? Will Leslie will win that race 9 times out of 10. The only time he loses it, if there was a bloke called Usain Bolt that plays for Leongatha, and there's no such player today.
We just got some quick scores for the Gippsland League around the grounds, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland. Traralgon, they lead Druin by 5 points, and Maul, they lead Warrigal by 12 points early in the first quarter.
Leslie gets attacked. McLaren, both players have been busy in the early moments of this game. Went looking for Martin. Martin tried to take it on the chest when he maybe should have took it out in front and as a consequence lost it. Martin got another handball. In fact, McLaren got another handball. He found his teammate there in Harry Ronke, who was easily found by a number of Parrot opponents, and the umpire will take control.
Big Benny Willis. Over the back was Jonty McGuinness. However, Marriott had it, then lost it. Ball now in dispute. McLaren, nice. So impressed with this young boy. Gives it across to Butcher. His handball didn't quite find the target. Hume said, I'll handball to open space, which was good. Marriott sweeps one into Heppel. Heppel from 40 sprays it, and he just squeezed it in for the minor score, the Virtue Home scoreboard.
Now a 15-point lead to Sale, 3 straight 18. Leongatha 3 behind, 3 points. 21-minute mark of the first quarter.
That perceived pressure from Sale, that's just forced Heppel to miss that goal, where he's just marked it now, just outside of 50.
Bowman goes back inboard to Burns, and it just went the required 15 distance, and Burns will have a set shot from 40 out.
Yeah, apologies, that was Bowman that took the mark outside. They're just both left footers, aren't they? So is Heppel left footer? It is, isn't it?
Either way.
Either way. Yeah, he goes really well.
Ronke normally a good kick out of fullback as well. That time just sort of kept it a bit short. I like him when he kicks it long. Anyhow, Jesse Burns will come in to look to get Leongatha's first goal of the afternoon from 45. He's now hooked it. Boxer for Carpet Country. Is there a breeze?
There's no breeze. They seem to be hitting that left side of the goals at the minute too. So not sure what's going through between the ears of the Leongatha side at the moment, but they seem to be hitting the same spot.
Sale leading Leongatha 18 points to 4 at the 22-minute mark of the first quarter.
Okay, 3 scoring shots to 4, but the home side lead as a consequence of really accurate kicking. Johnston brings the ball back into play. It's at left half forward flank for Leongatha at the moment, and they're outnumbered the Sale side. Willis gets a quick kick. It's going to be to space, and inside that space will be Sale firstly. Holmes is the first player there. Can't get a handle on it. Jesse Burns nearly ripped it out of Holmes' hands, but couldn't. It spills out. Can they keep it in? They can. They go searching for the boundary, does Holmes. The umpire eventually will take the control of the game. And it's basically on the intersection of forward 50 and boundary. Kicking to the scoreboard end are Leongatha. To the left of your radio, deep into the first quarter. 22 and a half minutes gone. Willis gets the tap down. McLaren first player there. Handballs over the top. Can he find his teammate? I reckon he can. That player was Butcher. Can Butcher get around again? Lang, you're in trouble. Marriott's chasing you down. And he got you too.
He had a good spin move, didn't he, Lang? And then Marriott just sort of continued to run. Nice little neat kick. Lands in the hands there of Lockie Wright, who comes into the side this week. His left foot kicks a little bit errant, goes to the top of the 50. Heppel goes up, couldn't quite mark it. Ground level. Holmes has got one arm wing tackled, and they fall to ground and will have a ball up directly in front. 40 out.
It's now 14 inside 50s in a row, and they've scored 3 behinds from them.
Just their kicks. They're just like, they're not, it's just a little bit un-Leongatha-like at the moment.
So ball up, 40 metre out, Willis tap, just missed the running movement there on that occasion, Mason McGannon.
And what I mean by that is they're normally precise with their kicks coming inside then too.
Not much room to move there.
They haven't got though, and Leongatha really has clogged it up. Sale.
So inside 50 again for the Parrots. Can they get one from the stoppage? Heppel handballed, picked off though. McLaren for the Magpies. Little neat kick to Lang was good. And Lang looks up and there's not much ahead of him, so he waits for some movement. Big moments thanks to the Mall Bowling Club on this Saturday afternoon. Don't forget Pot and Palmer every Saturday night from 5:30 p.m, only $20. Comes out wide now. And is it Whitford? It is. He goes backwards to the big man Mountain back there in Jack Leslie. He's been super.
Dangerous.
Across the ground to his brother Will. Was dangerous but worked out nicely.
Now to see how his kick goes now because he's been really 50-50 coming out.
So this kick is to a 50-50 and Xavier Lindsay put 2 hands up. Nice neat little handball inboard run to Turton. Sold some candy, then delivered beautifully to Lockie Wright. Directly in front, you're spot on, Boxer.
Yeah, I'm really critical at the moment of Will's exits outside of his defensive 50. He just keeps turning the ball over, son. Can you just do something about it? Maybe he needs a player around him just for the quick hands, get the ball out of there quicker. Because every time he's come out, the last 5 or 6, he's just brought it back in.
So Lockie Wright, can he get Leongatha's first goal? They've kicked 4 behinds as the Parrots trail by 14. He's going to have to kick it all of 49.5 metres, close to the man on the mark. Left foot, starts at left, stays left. And on your Virtue Homes scoreboard, don't forget you can be inspired by Virtue Homes. They've got beautiful in-house design teamwork as well. Design a home that suits your lifestyle, another behind.
Taking him to 5 behinds, 5 points, a 13-point deficit. Sale are 3 goals straight, 18. And that is 15 inside 50s in a row for Leongatha.
Okay, Holmes brings the ball back, goes to Lang. He's been busy also, as has this bloke, the big fella, Jack Leslie. There's a lot happening around the ground as Jack Leslie looks up from left of radio to right, from left half forward flank to is where he is at the moment.
Perfect kick, that one, Boxer.
Absolutely. Just go down the line at the moment. He had 2 big blokes to pick from as well. I just find that Brad Desson's been dragged up the ground by Steve Forrester, where he should be probably laying him back inside 50.
And with this stoppage now, it allows him to go
back.
Okay, so Wills gets the tap down to Marriott, wants to draw a player, puts through under pressure. I tell you, take an ankle tap. I reckon it was there too, boys, though. As Marriott gets another touch, you're gone, big fella, you're gone. Nice tacking, McLaren.
How good is he?
No, he's good. That was probably a 50-50 call. I think the umpire, Nick Cullers, has said, I might have missed the first one, I'll give you the second one.
Yeah, it was bordering on too high. McLaren got the reward, though. Met Marriott full on and got a tie. I tell you what, maybe the mark of it. Maybe the mark of a lifetime was just missed. And that player was
Maskell.
Maskell flew her early. He put the left paw out, nearly dragged it in.
He was sitting on his shoulders for about 3 or 4 seconds, a long time.
You pay that 9 times out of 10.
You have to pay it. He's a party pooper, Nick Cullers.
Play on's the call as Lang grabs the ball and kicks inside forward 50. They haven't seen this area for a while. Freeman nearly dragged one in. A quick kick around the body. It came from Sales, Harry Ronke, and just as the siren sounded, they hit the scoreboard one last time, Paul Carter.
Taking them to a quarter-time lead of 14 points, and I'm talking about Sale over Leongatha. Sale 3-1-19 on the Virtue Home scoreboard. Leongatha just 5 behind, 5 points.
What an entertaining first quarter. It was all thanks to Virtue Homes, and we have got a game on, as we'd expect, between these two powerhouse sides. It's Fifth Sale taking on the top side, Leongatha, but it's the Magpies leading at quarter time. You're listening to Gippsland Live, right across Gippsland and the Valley on TRFM, and it's all thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland. The first quarter is all done in the book thanks to Virtue Homes, and what a great one it was for the Magpies. They lead 3-1-19, leading Leongatha 5 behinds. They led it by 14 points at quarter time. 2 goals to Brad Descent certainly straightens them up as they go forward. Caden Martin, the other goal scorer there for the Magpies. Boxer, what did you find out in that first quarter? Actually, before we go to you, we're going to go to key stats, all thanks to Traralgon Subaru. The new Subaru Crosstrek. You move to the beat of your own drum.
Well, Sale dominated the inside 50s for the first 10 minutes. They led that 8-4, but then we had a succession of 15 inside 50s in a row to Leongatha. Sale's defence, to their credit, limited them to just 4 points. So the inside 50s finished at 19-9 Leongatha's way in that quarter. Main stat winners, we had 10 disposals to Shannon Lang and Jack McLaren. And for Leongatha, Tom Marriott is on 8.
Second quarter about to be underway for McDonald's. We'll come to you in a moment. Boxer McGuinness taps it down. Running onto this one, though. The Leongatha midfielder of Heppel coughed it up, though. Gave it to McLaren for the Magpies. Running on the spot there was Johnny McGuinness in the mud, right in the middle of the ground. Handball gets squirted out the back where Lang is. Squares it out wide to the wing of Glenane. And Glenane just holds it up now. Left foot kick goes in the target of Brad Descent. Front spot, though, was Cade Maskell for the Parrots.
He's been a lifesaver down back there, Maskell, too. His intercept marking and the ability to replay has been awesome.
Squares it to Hume. Hume's kick out wide. Missed the target there of Talonbrill. Head over the football there for Whitford. Then they drag it back in. The umpire waits and we'll ball it up. We've got some around the ground scores, Boxer, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture.
We do. Scudman Traralgon 4-2-26, Lee Druin 3-4-22, Warrigal 2-3-15, Morwell 3-2-20, and the last one, Bansdale 3-1-19, Moe 3-1-19.
Okay, Big Wills gets the handball down to Drew. They feed it off nicely. Well done. Finishing it off was Heppel. Right half forward flank he goes. Mark was taken by the big fella Jack Leslie, who's been busy today in that back line. A big man who now kicks. And a terrific mark by Cooper Whitehill. He went early, kept his eye on the ball, took the ball down cleanly, and then found Freeman in forward 50. It's a lot of F's. And there could be another one I could have used given that mark, but I won't. Freeman gives to McLaren, top of the square, and a good mark last line of defence by Guy Dixon.
What a grab box.
Wow. Didn't even use his hands as well, just knees. He catapulted up in the air as well. It was a great mark. Fantastic mark.
So Sam Forrester now plays on quickly, finds Burns outer side of the ground, outer side wing, tumbles to the ground, plays on quickly, runs 10, tries to dance around one end, does. His teammate through, McGannon goes inside or threatens forward 50. They've got a runner now, and that runner is Jack Hume, takes the ball, runs towards goals, and finally, the visitors have found the big sticks.
It's funny, I was going to ask Paul Carter, how long has it been since Leongatha has been held goalless for a quarter in the Gippsland League overall, and I'm sure Paul will be able to tell us anyway. But Jack Hume, he ran from the half-back line all the way through, read it beautifully. The one thing about both sides at the moment is their turnover. Their turnover kicks, he's hurting them both ways. Obviously, Sale have capitalised with goals. This time, Leongatha picked it off. Hume's great run was rewarded with a great kick by Marriott and a great goal.
And your answer to the Leongatha question, a long time. It's a 8-point lead to Sale at the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, Sale 3-1-19. Leongatha now 1-5-11.
Jack Hume's goal is a contender for the Zambrero goal of the day. Don't forget they're in Traralgon. They've got the new store down at Victoria Street in Warrigal.
Nice.
Of course, they've got the new menu as well, the toasted burrito and the signature burrito and bowl as well. Back to the middle we go. There's Big Benny Willis up against McGuinness, and Willis taps it down, but Drew comes through, lost it in the handle. Johnny McGuinness has to have his head over the footy. Squeezed a handle there was Josh Butcher. The free kick will go in the way of McGuinness, though. Boxer, you see that one?
Yeah, I was holding the man there too. I think Benny Willis was just a little bit excited about grabbing him, but he grabbed him too early.
So Jonty squares it out wide to Lockie Ronke. He's got one over the top if he wants, and he goes there now, and he finds Butcher. This is Josh. Looks up. Brad Descent will lead for him. Does he kick it over his head? He does, and go to Jonty McGuinness. Freeman was there. Jonty doesn't quite get to the contest. However, a free kick as Jared Freeman was pushed in the back, and he'll take the free kick. Slightish angle.
No, they've played it the other way, Scud.
Jonty McGuinness.
Oh, Johnny. It was Jonty. Yep. It's not for free. Oh, yep.
So
there it is.
Jonty McGuinness pushed in the back. Not sure why this second umpire just tells him there's your line. He can run wherever he wants. Just call play on. So Jonty McGuinness, the Magpies have given up a first goal in this quarter to Leongatha. Can they get the response quickly? Right foot, starts right, comes back, works a little bit back to the left. Doesn't matter. He squeezed it in. And now Jonty McGuinness gets his first goal. That's a good response from the Magpies.
Yeah, it was. It was a bit of an ugly kick off the foot because it didn't look great. But obviously we saw Leongatha going this way in the first quarter, pushing everything to the left. He pushed the ball right and they got a great goal. But it was a good finish there by Sale. Regardless of the free kick, if it was there or not, they got it inside 50 and they capitalised once the ball was inside. And
they're back to the quarter-time margin of 14 points, and that is in Sale's favour on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Sale 4-1-25, Leongatha 1-5-11.
Okay, McGuinness v Willis. McGuinness went early, even ball maybe. Marriott beat Lang to the ball and then fed off the top. Nice hands to Kim Drew from inside the square to inside 50 in the blink of the eye. First player there will be Brill. Left foot kick. I reckon they're going to get another one. They've made something from nothing, and the goal's been paid. The second for Leongatha will go the way of Lockie Wright.
I'll tell you now, I'm just sitting there going, what was that? Because
Aaron Turton's little dribble.
His little dribble, I thought he was going to be going for a goal, but he's given a offside little dribble kick to Wright, who had to work his absolute butt off to kick it over his shoulder to get a goal because he was absolutely inundated with Sale defenders. But they got the goal.
Contender box?
Great. No, not a contender because they overcooked it a little bit. All right, so you don't want a burnt burrito, do you?
No. Bright start to the second quarter. 3 goals in the opening 5 minutes. 2 to Leongatha, 1 to Sale. Sale leading on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard by 8 points.
This time McGuinness tapped it down to McLaren, who was wrapped up straight away.
We've got some other scores as well. Foster 7-7-49, Tura 3 straight 18, and Hill End 1-17 to Ballara 6-3-39.
This time Willis taps it down. Bowman was there to get it, and then handle out to Borshman. Right foot kick, in it goes. Ganane's going to fly. Can't quite mark at ground level. Jensen Garnham tries to have a little basketball tap. Now gathers it. Inboard kick to the team play. No, Lang comes the other direction. Surely a free kick to Lang. Not paid. Brill gave it off to Heppel. His handball missed the target. It goes to ground. Lockie Ronke's there. He'll just barrel it out. Does he find his target in Butch? He's got 3 to beat. He can't do it. Gave a handball up to Garnham. He spins. Right foot kick was smothered by Sandyman. Comes the other way. His handball missed the target. It bobbles around now to Jack Hume. Kicks around his body. And from 45, last line, will be marked by Will Leslie of the Magpies to save any score.
Here's a test for that kick, Scud. We'll see what he does coming out of here.
They trail by 8 points.
So the zone of the Parrots is pretty good. There's going to require a kick that finds some space, and
missed it again.
He found some space, okay, but part of that space was the boundary line near forward 50.
Just his turnover coming outside.
Yeah.
It's just hurting him at the moment, so he knows that as well.
It's not hurting him on the scoreboard, though, is it, Box? That's
not
the
now,
only thing.
But it just seems like Leongatha's trying to find their mojo, and it's coming.
Yeah, so they're finding space where in the first quarter they could not. Ball thrown in. The umpire says, take 2, young fella. Good job, could be better. So he comes in from the boundary line. Does the young boundary umpire?
He's got a haircut like Scud too.
He has too.
Shortly too.
Yeah, I noticed the Scud haircut.
Looking sharp, I tell you.
They're looking very sharp. Looking like a rapper.
Looks like Vanessa cut it. But anyway, we'll keep going.
Kick around the body. Nicely done. Top of the square. Jack Leslie puts up a paw. Couldn't make contact. Will Leslie sees it over the boundary line. Umpire says out of play on the full. I didn't quite see it that way. Will Leslie doesn't believe it went that way. So now central umpire talks to boundary umpire.
And goal umpire now.
And goal umpire. Then he speaks to the bloke in the Isuzu behind the goals.
And the Subaru.
And the Subaru as well. Says, right, what have we got here?
It's out of bounds. Come on, umpire.
Yes, out of bounds is the call.
Thank goodness for that.
Okay.
Could have just gone to boxer to start with.
Yep. So Glenane wasn't totally happy. He was ready to go back and kick a goal.
Dangerous spot, though.
It was. It is still. Yeah, yep. Leslie takes the resultant throw in and kicks just outside 50. The fight is on. In that fight, Butcher was one. Now feeds it off. And now Lang. The kick wasn't pretty, but it found his teammate there in Tainch. Tainch from half back towards half forward. Fall of the ball. First player there is a Leongatha player. Forrester. Can't quite get a handle of it. Coming in quickly was Ben Felsen. And now Forrester also. Play-on's the call. They've worked it inside forward 50 Sale, but Leongatha have got the free kick for too high, and Drew is down and hurt at the moment, but he's got a free kick and he feels better.
Yeah, he was driven into the ground then too. It was a great tackle, but just unfortunate that it went the opposite way. and it was a free kick to Leongatha.
Drew drives it into the middle of the ground. Nail a turnover. Allison got a little toe poke to it. Wallace was there, the top of the 50. Allison's holding his ankle. Keep an eye on that boxer. Heppel now for the Parrots. Gives it off to the run of Forrester. Inside forward 50. One-on-one. It scoots out the back. Jack Ganane has it. Good run down by Leslie. Enough pressure to cause the errant kick for out of bounds on the full. 9.5 minutes gone.
Scott, I'm not a doctor, but I reckon he's done an Achilles. The way he's really gripping that ankle at the moment. It is right ankle at the minute.
All right. Jack Johnson brings it back into the field of play.
Two runners are taking him off.
Finds Whitford.
Yep, nice little kick there. Sale still lead it by 8 points. His right foot kick goes into the centre square area, and Maskell flew from the back to 3 deep and takes a nice mark. Looks at Freeman and has a nice little wry smile. So Maskell's about to reload. Brill presents, but he goes short of the Bowman. It might be picked off. Well done by Butcher. McLaren was there to turn around. Chiseling kick. Lindsay's picked this one off in the middle of the ground, and the youngster puts it to the fat side. Jack Ganane. Leslie again with a double fister. Comes over the top with a spoil, and we'll get a boundary throw in.
If Leslie's game was tapped off by his kicking, he'd be best on ground by a country mile.
Yeah, look, his disposal coming out of defensive 50 hasn't been great, but the fact is, Glenane, a goal kicker,
defending,
is yet to prove a problem for them at the moment. But it may turn as they turn right now. Heppel's right foot kick around the body, just offline, a minor score.
McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, but Cafe celebrating 30 years of coffee, fit for old Aussie.
Just down to a 7-point margin in Sale's favour now. It's 4-1-25 to 2-6-18.
Hudson Holmes has kick-in duties at the moment. Really entertaining game of football, all thanks to Terrelgan Subaru, the new Crosstrek. Make sure you get down to Terrelgan Subaru and test drive one this afternoon. And the free kick will be paid after that kick-in from Holmes, and it's going to go Leongatha's way to big Lockie Wright. He's too far out to score. He's going to reload with a couple of options presenting for him. They're all ignored. He's just going to kick and hope. Towards Brill. Can't quite mark and elevate. Burns is out the back. Had a little fumble. Then gathered it. Then ran around and kicked on his right. Gets to a dangerous spot. Jack Johnson was there. Was able to relieve the pressure and just clear it out. The ball comes off a shin. Jack Glenane was there at ground level. Squeezed a handle to Cooper Whitehill. Took one of the marks of the year. Then just got ran down from behind. And the free kick will go to Jack Hume on the far side of the ground for the Parrots. And he looked to get his second, but more importantly, Leongatha's third goal of this quarter.
He's been the most dangerous forward for Leongatha, Scud. He's just an ever-growing player at the moment, Jack Hume. We saw how good he was as a junior, and he's just continued that on through his senior ranks at the moment. And he's only early in his senior ranks, going for his second goal this afternoon.
12 minutes into this second quarter of the round 10 Alinta Energy Gippsland League. Clash on its way. Lovely off the boot. Lovely through the air. And straight through the middle. Leongatha's got 3 in the quarter. Here they come.
Here they come, Scott, and the Doggers just spoke about their mojo. What I mean by that is they're going to just hurt you on the turnover, and suddenly, all of a sudden, Sale's turnover is hurting them at the minute too, because Paul Cutter's going to tell us that the last 3 goals have come from errors from Sale. So they need to tidy that up if they're going to continue to be in front in this game.
And we're down to a 1-point margin at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard sees Sale still ahead, 4-1-25. Leongatha 3-6-24.
All right, McGuinness will take on, not Willis on this occasion. Ground level, though, most importantly. It's Bowman that got first opportunity. Marriott gets a touch. Hung on to the ball just a bit too long. Play on, though. Bowman feeds it off to Harry Jackson. Over the top, he goes searching. Can he find a teammate? He can't. It's a good contest. And either player get a handle on the ball. They can't. 4 or 5 players from either side. Outer side wing at the moment. 13 minutes gone. Second quarter. Sale 4-1-25, as you heard from Paul Carter. Leongatha 3-6-24. The momentum has shifted somewhat to the visiting side, especially in this second quarter. Ball thrown up again, nicely done. Bottom of the pack was Tainch. Couldn't find a teammate. Burns, quick kick inside forward 50. Yeah, nice mark, Johnston. Jack wants to change direction. Nearly ran into trouble. Had enough time to get out of trouble, but for how long? Because Glenane and Will Leslie, both with a bit of pace, will fight for this ball and try to keep it inside the boundary. They cannot. And at right half forward flank, Leongatha kicking to the right of your radio, will remain in the danger zone as far as Sale are concerned. So right half forward flank. Willis to do the work against McGuinness.
Yeah, beautiful tap, although just missed Bowman. Lang was there to give it to Cooper Whitehill, and the Magpies are on the run. They kick into the middle of the ground. There's a free kick in the middle. It'll go to the Magpies' way.
They should move it quickly.
Butcher, he wants to move it quickly. Get the one-on-one, Josh, get it in. He decides to handle to the run of Cooper Whitehill, who drives it in. Out to McLaren. Jonty McGuinness in the front spot. McLaren's out the back. He had a fresh airy.
Oh, holding the man. Wow.
And not reversed. No, Forrester tried to get it reversed, but holding the man box, was it there?
I don't know if it was, though, Scott. I think the umpires have been sort of confused with the fact that they're umpiring the game, not the players. So maybe it was just one of those facts that they were just overawed by the yelling of players to reward a free kick in front of goal.
So McLaren's been on fire for Terrelgan Subaru. Can he polish it with a goal? Not quite. He's just missed. Actually, it's hit the upright. And it hit the goalpost for a minor score. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard in this second quarter.
4-2-26 Sale, a 2-point lead over Leongatha, 3-6-24.
So Maskell to bring the ball back into play for the visiting side, the Parrots. Leongatha for years one of the measuring sticks, and this year is no exception. 70-metre kick, but guess what? That man, Will Leslie, up from the full back line, 50 metres ahead of Glenane, takes the mark, wanting to press forward and keep the ball in that area. He did the hard yards. If it spilled over the back, he would have been in trouble. It didn't. Goes to the bro and says, bro,
get me out of here.
And so the big man, Jack, from left half forward flank, goes inside forward 50. Not sure about that option. Spills to the ground. Nicely done at ground level. Rowan Diamond. Nice kick. And the opportunity now for Jonty McGuinness to kick his second in this second quarter and extend that lead currently from 2 to 8.
He's an underestimated player, Rowan Diamond. He came from Rosedale last year, where he spent all of his football career. Won a league medal in the North Gippsland Football League as well.
Just taking his little bit of time.
Just a little bit of time to adapt to the league as well, but that's a smart kick.
Yeah. What do you win? A league
medal?
Whereabouts?
In the North Gippsland Football League. What did I say?
No, that's fine. Who hasn't done that? Anyway,
Jonty McGuinness comes in.
Jonty McGuinness and does bang his second in this second quarter, and Sale answer the challenges that have been coming left, right and centre.
Well, they're pretty excited here in the grandstand, especially one player who's letting Pistol know from the Leongatha Parrots, who's in front at the minute. I would move if I was you, mate, because if they don't get in front, he'll be coming straight after you. But it was a great kick inside, good level-headed kick in, and a great finish there as well.
Back to an 8-point lead for Sale on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, coming up to the 17-minute mark of the second quarter. Sale 5-2-32, leading Leongatha 3-6-24.
Big moments for the Mall Bowling Club. Pot and Palmer nights tonight, only $20, and you can catch all the AFL games live in the club lounge. Back to the middle we go. No one really wins it. McLaren head over it. Big Benny Willis jumps on top, and we'll have another secondary stoppage.
Yeah, Scott, just quickly, quarter-time score zone, the North Gippy, Woodside 6-1-37, the Glengarry just 5 points, Cower 2 points to the Yallourn North 1-5-11.
It's around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture. Secondary stoppage, McLaren had a kick over his shoulder, Turton was there, so was Whitehill, just tapped it to some open space. Wallace tried to put a shepherd on no one in particular, allowed Ronke to come in, get it back to Leslie, he scooped it up. And just a little bit too much of a scoop. It was a throw.
When you've got hands the size of baseball mitts, sometimes it's hard to control.
So Mason McGannon has it, kicks it to half forward, put Willis in an awkward spot, got out the back, Borshman gave it to Kim Drew, dribbles one inside forward 50. No real favour for the forwards. Burns will burst through this one, run away, handball over the top. Does it get there? Oh, Leslie's touched it. Although the umpire was blindsided, I think he looked. He's going to pay this.
Hang on, the umpire, a fish out.
Oh, he's calling everyone in.
I think this was touched. The goal umpire looked away at the moment Will Leslie touched it. He thinks it's a goal. If the field umpire didn't see it either, this could be one that Leongatha get away with.
It's going to be a point.
It is touched.
Yep.
It was the right decision.
100%. It was definitely the right decision.
But they all looked away.
Yep.
And I think the boundary umpire coming in helped that one, Poppy.
They did, yeah. Good work. And you know what? Sensible work by umpires. So well done. Sale come out of trouble, but only momentarily cut off by Guy Dixon. Right half forward flank goes short, finds a teammate. Nicely done. That teammate is
Trent McRae.
So Trent McRae,
one of the youngsters,
goes inside forward 50. Corridor out the back. It's going to spill. McLaren, who's been one of the best in the day, feeds off a handball. Done well. Johnston handballs to the advantage of a teammate in Holmes, and he opens the door for his teammate in Wallace. They get out of trouble, but for how long? Not long. Big Ben Willis takes the mark, centres the ball up and finds his teammate in Cade. Maskell, who goes short, and here we go. Aaron Heppel will kick for goal from 45 directly in front.
I don't make very often stupid comments, right?
Oh, dear, right, okay.
But are they using a Burley footy today?
No, they're not. It's a Sharon.
Is it a Sharon? Because the skill level
Not good.
has been very disappointing at the
Well, I'll
moment.
give some credit to the pressure around the ball.
Yep. Heppel will have to put this through from 45 metres out directly in front. Gets underneath it. Does it get the carry? Yes, it does. I don't know what you're going on about, Boxer.
Yeah.
That's a Sharon that's gone straight. The skills are on fire. Great kick by Aaron Heppel. Gets his first.
Yeah, but at times you've got to just make sure the comments, fair and due. But at the same time,
Don't point.
I'm not pointing.
Talk to me.
I'm just looking at you because, you're the one that see you poking
I'm a
me with
human
your elbow.
just like you.
Their
You
skill
treat me like
level
crap sometimes.
coming outside of their defensive 50, both sides, has been...
When have I ever done anything wrong by you?
Over to you, Paul
And
Carter.
McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. We've got a
done.
1-point game on our hands at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter, with Sale leading 5-2, 32, Leongatha 4-7, 31.
Our old mate from Sales quieting down here in the front.
He has. Really high-skilled game, this one, as McGuinness goes up high nicely. In fact, it was Jack Leslie, who's been thrown into the ruck to take on Ben Willis. Umpire comes in, grabs to the Sharon. He's going to ball this one up. Yep, the Sharon goes up. Willis gets the tap. Marriott, nicely done. Is that Ellison? Is that Ellison back on?
Ellison back on. He snapped her Achilles and he's back
Yeah.
out there, Boxer.
I'm happy to misdiagnose at times. Dr. Nick Riviera.
Mrs. Ellison was on her way to see her son in hospital, only to find he's still playing. And here we are inside
good
forward
tackle.
50,
Great
Leongatha.
Whitford strong.
Yeah, Brill couldn't find his way through. The umpire will take control. Just 20 metres from Leongatha's goals.
You can only call what you see.
Yeah, exactly.
What I saw
what did
was
you
a
see?
broken leg.
Ball thrown back up, nicely done. Lucky Ronke takes that ball.
It was
he
broken.
gets taken himself.
He could hardly walk.
He couldn't walk. Two
Right.
trainers helped him off.
So maybe he was faking.
He wouldn't be
No.
fake. He's an Allison. He's tough as nails.
That's
tough.
right.
They're tough.
They are. That Morwell upbringing.
Great family.
In fact, he may have picked the trainer's pocket on the way out.
Oh,
There we go. Quick kick.
Lucky right.
Nicely done. And Lockie Wright couldn't find the goals. In fact, he found the wrong side of the boundary line, went across the face of goals, and had a play on the full.
Leongatha trail by a point. Haven't been in front in this game. We're at the 21-minute mark of the second quarter.
They were in front for about a minute.
They got the first point of the game.
They did, yeah.
Sorry
Hudson
about
Holmes with the ball, right back pocket. Probably the short option's his best option. Chooses not to go that way, wants to go long and clear the area. So now it's right half back flank. He goes. Reading the ball ever so beautifully was Dixon, who hasn't been their worst today. Oh, free kick behind play.
Back to Leslie Holt.
Yeah, so Jack Leslie feeds it off nicely. Whitehill has been good. His kick forward, he went searching for his teammate in Ronke, couldn't find that player. The ball spills over the boundary line. Just forward of right half back.
I've just got to quickly reply to a message that I've just received. There is no AFL game on this afternoon until 4:35. That's the Giants. They'll take on the Dockers.
Should be an absolutely ripping game. Just give me the final score.
Yep.
As Whitehill now runs 10, kicks 35. It's going to go out the back, and now the race is on. The race, Patrick Tainches are going to be the first player there. No, beaten. He was outnumbered 2-1. Picked up beautifully. It was by Lindsay. His short kick found Hume on the lead. And from the half-back line, Hume for the Parrots, who trail by 1 point, 22 3/4 minutes gone second quarter. Give ground, keep possession, back to Dixon. He's got Sales goals, just 25 metres behind him. He's in trouble.
Got him.
No, the big fella's got him. The umpire was a bee's back leg from
He
calling
was.
a free kick. The whistle went to mouth, and then
He got boot the ball, though.
he did, fortuitously, just in time. And is this Whitehill again?
Yep.
From 70 metres out, he's going to kick to within 30. Needs a winner or a contender. Got a contender. I
Dixon.
tell you what, Dixon fell to the ground but had presence of mind to keep his eye on the ball, took the mark and found Marriott now as a breakaway.
Yeah, the exiting kick out of defensive 50 is good to Talon Brill. They want the inside 45 kick. Brill decides to go down the line to the one-on-one. And the target nicely done by Lockie Wright. And he'll run away from Sandyman. He has an awkward bounce and then kicks the left foot barrel. And it lands in the hands, of Lockie Ronke.
The ball's flat.
Yeah.
Something's not right with that footy.
Yeah, it was a reverse torpedo, but Lucky Ronke took the mark 20 metres out from Leongatha's goals.
Squared it across to Jack Johnson, who goes back to who?
Lucky Ronchi. And from left back pocket this time, he looks forward. Comes towards the grandstand side.
50.
Umpire says 50. It was Burns that crept over the mark just by inches.
This rule
and it's cost him 50 metres.
I cannot do it anymore.
That rule sucks.
This rule is crap.
He's gone from 0 to 100 miles an hour.
Played 10, 15 metres.
Oh.
Yeah. Here we go. So big Mark Descent at the back of the pack. In fact, and now
Diamond.
roving it ever so beautifully was Diamond. Ran himself into trouble. Nicely done by Krill. He ran himself into trouble. Free kick paid. Sale's way. And it's a big fella. Real big fella. In Brad Descent, who gives ground, keeps it possession to Lockie Ronchi. Grandstand side. He's got a short option. In fact, he goes the length towards half-forward flank, and now Will Leslie, who's up from full-back, kicks to full forward, needs a winner. Can't get past Dixon. I tell you what.
Good mark.
He's been tremendous down back.
He has.
Dixon.
He's been the difference in the last 5 minutes, especially. They get the ball out of their area. Turton's the player.
Ran too far.
I was going to say, mate, how much yardage do you want?
So
just slow down.
He looked up forward. There wasn't much to go for, and it seduced him into running an extra 5 or 6 metres.
His nickname's Turtle as well. It's quite ironic.
They play on quickly.
He's ripped off the bloke's Leongatha beanie. It's on everywhere.
So Taints now kicks to the top of the square, but I tell you what, they're just not finding a winning forward at the moment, are they? And Leongatha are holding firm.
Yeah, another minor score. 1 point is the margin still, as Lindsay's kick found Jack Ganane. Long way from home, though. He's normally in the goal square. He's on half-back flank now for the Parrots. They're under a little bit of pressure. Big moment at the 25-minute mark of the second quarter. Inboard kick to Jensen Garnham. Looks down the line. He'll chisel it to Talon Brill. They just want to hold on to it now to the Parrots. Lots of numbers, though, falling back to the top of the 50. Wright will present. He'll try and kick over the back where Mason McGannon tried to work Hudson Holmes underneath it. In the end, Jack Johnson was able to read it better than all of them and take the intercept mark as he reloads. Beautiful kick to Will Leslie. This guy's been racking them up. Paul Carter, we following Will or just Jack?
Just Jack.
So Will has it. Fox has been tough on his skills all afternoon.
He's got 15 or 20 at least.
Kick down the line was for Brad Descent. Couldn't mark it. Ball comes to ground level. The umpire will ball it up. 26 and a half minutes gone. 1 point margin in favour of the Magpies.
It's not critical. It's just the fact that he's winning the ball and he's just undoing his good play by turning the ball back over to Leongatha.
Okay, right in front of our Gippsland live position. Will's get the tap down. He found, but Kim Drew, who couldn't find any space, as a consequence of some really good pressure from Lang.
You know what I find too with Leslie, though? The further up the ground he plays, the better his skills get. So maybe it's that kick outside of his defensive 50 that might be playing mind games with him.
All right. Tough kick. Will's got rid of McGuinness and then handball beautifully to Marriott. Marriott's got room, and when that happens, he usually finds a teammate. He doesn't, because the work in defence by Jack Leslie.
He's best on ground for sale for me at the moment. I know that young McLaren is probably not far behind, or, you know, obviously I'm happy to debate it, but Jack Leslie's been enormous down back.
For Trevor Subaru.
So thank you for the opportunity to debate. Leslie now out of defence. Oh, nice tackle. I thought in the end might be holding the ball. The umpire says no prior opportunity on.
This is where you change
Jackson
your tone.
Glenane.
This is where you change your tone. In the car, you're all lovey-dovey, right? And we get up here and you're all frenzy with your mate next door.
It's all about business now, mate. When you cross that white line, you know what happens. It's
well, I know
no
what
friends in a
happens.
footy field, mate, as we go forward. Just be quiet while I'm commentating. We'll get back to you when I call on you. Lang clears the area, only momentarily. Nicely done. Oh, beautifully roved. Feeds it off. Can they make something out of basically nothing? They cannot. The tackle was a beauty. And Leongatha will get another chance 30 metres out from goals. Up to you, Nick.
Paul Carter, you've got room in your car on the way home? Because I'm coming with you.
Second quarter, it's been a great game. Great to have your company on TRFM. It's Leongatha's chance to maybe steal the lead late in the second quarter. Although big Benny Willis has it. Handballs over the top to Jackson Ganane. Although Diamond was there for the Magpies. Quick one, handball to Allison, who squares the kick out wide. Freeman had it with Maskell. It's been a good little battle. Handball up.
Oh, throw.
It was a throw. And the free kick will go against Freeman to Cade Maskell. He's on the centre wing, far side of this Sale ground. Inboard kick to Borshman. He can roll and go. And on the right foot, the siren beats them all. No one can take the completing mark and have a final shot. 28 and a half minutes the quarter went. The margin is at 1 point. Leongatha got it back from 14 at quarter time, and it's a 1 point margin. It's a great game of footy in the round 10 Alinta Energy Gippsland League. You're listening to Gippsland Live on TRFM right across Gippsland in the valley, and it's all thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get down to business. Third quarter. All thanks to McDonald's. About to get underway here at Sales Main Oval. Third quarter action, 1 point margin. It is Sale leading. Umpire will get us underway, and this is a great game of round 10 of the Alinta Energy Gippsland League. Willis tapped it down in the middle. McLaren was there as well. And we're going to have a secondary stoppage. Great to see that, of course, Gippsland Live is going global at the moment. Great to see that Sam and Danielle Anstey are tuning in from the UK. They're over there in the Ashes. Of course, how good would that be? Day one's already done. It's 6:34 a.m. in the morning and they're tuning in live.
Well done.
Great to have your company, Anstey.
The rich get richer, don't they? Just holidaying over there in Europe as McLaren here at sunny Sale comes towards the right half forward flank. Can he find a winner? Went searching for and eventually almost found Tainch, overran it. Pressure from Leongatha is pretty good. One of those players, there's one of three, was Jackson Harry. But equal to the task was
just
Sale.
a massive call up there to Ryan Diamond there too. His pressure just to keep that ball and create a stoppage was instrumental.
All right, so right half forward flank, and I mean right on the point of the square. It'll be Willis and McGuinness. Maybe McGuinness over the top, had this sit. McLaren done well, nearly found a way through. Just went without it. Found his way through a group of players, but there's still the pressure on, and Diamond a quick kick forward to the top of the square. And nicely done by Leongatha. Geez, they've answered the pressure nicely, haven't they? As they ease it through Ben Feltson and goes towards that outer side of the ground. Marriott, a one-touch player, does just that. Feeds it off and off they go. Centre of the ground, beautifully done. The race is on. Hume runs 10, kicks to the top of the square. Glenade's got the set. Couldn't take the mark, but he's got enough room to set up his teammate. And his teammate is Garnham. And Garnham, who's been good this year, gets his first of the afternoon, and importantly, the visitors hit the front once more.
There's a great assist inside too there. And Garnham actually have had every chance to actually blaze away and have a snap, but unselfishly kicked the ball inside to Garnham, who has been a bit quiet to his standards that he's set so far this year in the league. It was a great finish there and a great start to Leongatha. Just that ball and exit from the defensive 50 was fantastic. Again, set up by Jack Hume.
And Leongatha had the lead early in the game, but have only just now regained it at the 2-minute mark of the third quarter. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, Leongatha 5-7 to Sale 5-2.
Sam Anstey just confirmed a million miles away that it is a Sharon that is being used out in the middle of the ground as well, Boxer. So
it looks like they've changed the ball at half-time too. It looks brand new. Now, I don't know if that rule still applies in this league as well, but...
Well, he can tell that it's a Sharon. He's on the other side of the world.
He's just used his influence.
Back to the middle. McLaren there trying to bust his way through a Heppel tackle. Not going anywhere.
No massive changes, though, at half-time. They've lined up relatively the same way they finished. So Leongatha are still prepared to have full confidence in the way they structure.
Jonty McGuinness over the top. Dane McGuinness as well as McLaren again was wrapped up by Heppel. And this time they're going to play on the board. You don't have to play it just for the sake of it. They had no opportunity. Heppel's kick, though, now goes to half forward. Jensen Garnham was there. Wheels around like the QE2 and then delivers it to the chest to Talonbrell. He had 2 bites at it with a hand over his shoulder. And the mark was paid.
How does the QE2 wheel around?
Well, it's a big arc. It's a big arc.
Yeah.
It wheels around.
It's in the water.
But still, but you still wheel around.
Yeah. So Talonbrell, I'll let Boxer work that one out in a moment. He'll have a shot from 45-degree angle, have to kick at 50, kicking towards the scoreboard into the ground. As he lowers the eyes and goes to Jack Gane, nicely done. That's great team football. It's knowing your limitations and then passing it off to a better player in the spot who can go back and have a shot.
So the captain of the QE2 has a wheel in front of him. He turns the wheel.
He wheels around.
Yeah, he turns the wheel to turn the boat.
That happened 5 minutes ago. Boxer's still trying to stand up and do twisty turns in the commentary box.
We'll just float that idea.
Jack Ganane.
He's just Googling QE2.
Similar angle. This time a little bit closer. 40 metres out. Distance won't be a problem. How's the accuracy for his first? Oh dear. Shock. It's away to the left and it's in for a minor score. But the Parrots are in front and they're out to a solitary kick.
It's a goal in front. In fact, they are 6 behind in front. 5 goals, 8-38 Leongatha to Sale 5-2-32. McDonald's Gippsland scored 4.5 minutes played, third quarter.
Boxer's got the bow and the stern mixed up.
It's not. I'm going to get this right. I'll tell you that.
Hudson Holmes brings it back into play, gets it to the wing area. Big contest form. Wallace left it behind. Diamond had his head ripped off. And the umpire, 2 metres away, didn't see it. The other one 30 metres away said, I did. Working in tandem. Diamond wheels around. He turns around like the QE2. Kicks it down towards Jarrett Freeman.
Better. You turn the boat around. You don't wheel it around. It's got no wheels.
It's a turn. Freeman, too far out. Sun in their eyes. Gets underneath it. No one will mark this one, surely. Except for Xavier Lindsay.
Yeah, so...
Sun in the eyes and still does a good mark.
Lindsay wheels around on the left foot. He's got no wheels, but he does it anyway.
That's true.
Goes inboard.
Boats don't have wheels.
Neither do players.
But you know what I mean. Just work it out. Oh, Marty, you've got some work to do. Kane Martin had the ball. He was taken off the ball. Now Lindsay went without it. Lang comes in. Over the top he goes. I'm getting my words inside my vocabulary. And the wee kick's gone Sale's way. Jack Johnson play on quickly. Kicks inside forward 50 in the corridor. Oh. Geez, he's been good, hasn't he? He's been one of a few. Jackson Harry took the mark. Plays on quickly. Outer side of the ground towards Garnham. Took the ball at right half-back flank. Looks up forward. Got a runner. Does he choose to go to Brill? No, goes over the top to Glenane. Glenane got rid of his opponent. Jesse Burns came in to lend a hand. And Sale through Leslie may ease the pressure, although Will Leslie couldn't get the ball before the boundary, and there'll be a boundary throw-in.
It's good to see special comments this afternoon brought to you by Carpet Country. Tim Sexton, one of the best in the business. Just letting us all know that's a figure of speech, Boxer.
Yeah, it is too.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, no worries.
That's why he's the best, part of the A-team. As the ball comes back into the field of play. Heppel tried to sock it off the ground. Ground level there. Squeezed a handball out was Allison. He had his Achilles broken early in the first quarter. He's back out there. Turton gives a handball off now. Is it Bowman? Left foot, 45 metres out. Has a shot at goal. Hits the post.
Oh dear.
The Parrots are coming. It's time for the Magpies to stand up. Big moments for Morwell Bowling Club.
Tim Sexton started the ball team.
Leongatha are 5-9-39 with that poster. They are 7 points ahead of Sale, 5-2-32.
So Lucky Ronke from fullback.
Lucky.
Goes straight down the middle.
Oh.
A nice fist gathers 20 metres. Is it a set play? Not sure. Kane Martin went for man, then went for ball, and then somehow found Lang. Lang just didn't get a favourable bounce and overran the ball. The tackle was laid. The umpire took control very quickly.
Let it go. It's one of those things with Kane Martin too. He was really in the game that first quarter. Sort of went missing a little bit in that second, but just those smart little experienced acts can really lift the side as well.
Yeah, McGuinness got the tap. Lang got a kick off the ground. Inside forward 50 again. This is just when they're not getting their hands on the ball as much as they'd like. Marriott eases the pressure over the top to Bowman. Left leg from centre of the ground, looking for Glenade, threatening the forward 50. Bounces back. Bowman takes ball. Bowman got taken but busted the tackle. Sends it forward more in hope than anything else. And a nice mark running with the flight of the ball was Jack Johnston.
So Johnson will clear it out. Leongatha in front now by 7 points. Out towards Josh Butcher. Sliding, taking the ball. There's 50. And the young fella just knew it straight away, didn't he, when he skipped? He tried to jump over the mark.
He had a brain fake there too.
He's only young, leave him alone.
No, it happens.
Yep.
It happens to the best of us. And
so Josh Butcher gets to about the half-forward flank, puts it out in the front. Although they're going to muck it up, the Parrots. Dixon just put one hand up, just casually. He was up to it though. He was able to get boot to ball and get it out towards Jack Hume, who's got a little bit of space. He can lower the eyes. Jensen Garnham runs underneath it with no pressure. Glenane handballed it back to Leslie, who went to Jack Johnson, and he missed the target. It's definitely the Sharon as Kim Drew.
Bring back the Burley. Bring back the Burley.
1-2 handball with Bowman, and they get it back and they square it out wide. Here's Xavier Lindsay, usually a nice kick of the football. That one, no exception. To Trent McRae. Yeah,
Trent McRae, half-back line now. Nice work. And that right leg runs towards the boundary side. Can he find a winner? Yeah, good take. Really was a nice take by Maskell. Bit of traffic around. Freeman was applying some pressure, and now he stands on the mark as Freeman for Sale. Maskell's called to play on. Short option is on. Or is it? No, good pressure in the end it was by Whitehill to force the ball over the boundary. What was an opportunity for Leongatha to go forward now becomes a 50-50 ball at left half forward flank.
9.5 minutes in.
Third quarter. Willis, front position. Good left paw. Gathers 10 metres to the advantage of his teammate there in Kim Drew, who's taken over the boundary line. So still at left half forward flank. Leongatha 5-9-39. Sale 5-2-32. Top v 5th. Leongatha on top, as we all know. McLaren, he's been on top today, taking with the ball. Play on's the call. Now inside forward 50. Good pressure from both sides. Who's going to come up with the ball? That's the key. Right here, taken off the ball. I reckon from Sale on that occasion was Sandeman, taken off by Bowman. And then the ball's held in, bottom of a few players, and the umpire will take control. 45-degree angle, 30 metres from Leongatha's goals.
Yeah, they're just starting to build in this third quarter. 10 minutes in, Leongatha have taken the lead and they look to have a little bit of control. One of the Magpies got left. Lang squeezed a handball to Whitehill. Into McGuinness. Good chain of handball. The grid work was good. Jack Johnson's kick goes in the target. Nicely done by Harry Ronke. And Harry Ronke goes inboard again to Jackson Glenane. He can square it out wide if he wants. The run from half-back has been good. And it is on that occasion from Whitford. Got some space in front of him. Talon Brill will close, then slip over. Gives Brill a little bit of time. Sorry, gives Whitford some time.
Nice.
That's a beautiful kick. And they look alike, these two.
They do, Scott.
Whitford and Josh Butcher.
It was fantastic as well. Whitford's...
Played on.
Gives a handball to Kane Martin. Left foot kick. He's a left foot specialist. And he's a left foot goal kicker as well. The veteran Kane Martin gets his second. That's what the Magpies wanted.
That's just brilliant. He's just got a beautiful kick there, Kane Martin. But Whitford's play out that wing, just the poise through the middle of the ground from Sale, just to get that ball out wide and then just to make sure he fended off Brill. But geez, that kick inside to Johnson. Then he played on. Gave it to the right man, though. Beautiful left foot kick. Kane Martin gets a beautiful goal. Much needed for Sale.
Margin back to just 1 point in Leongatha's favour. The McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard at the 11.5 minute mark of the third quarter. Leongatha 5-9-39, leading Sale 6-2-38.
So this time Lockie Wright will do the ruck duties. Up against McGuinness. Dane, that is. Dane taps it down. McLaren shuffled it out to Lang. Beautifully done. Right foot kick. Well done by Maskell to smother it. Bowman came in to help for the Parrots. Gets it out to Borshman. His little kick out to the wing over the top of Marriott's head. He just ran through the tackler. And the tackler was Jack Johnson. But his kick was poor. It's picked up by one of the best on grounds for Traralgon Subaru. And it's big Jack Leslie.
So Jack Leslie with no player behind him. All 35 others ahead of him. He goes long, looking for McGuinness. Good punch from behind from Bowman. Gathers 20 metres. Whitehill, quick kick. Centre of the ground. Sale have got the numbers. They just need the bounce. They can't get the bounce first off. A push in the back will go the way of Adam Wallace. Inside the centre corridor. Plays on quickly. And Sale, who are starting to lift a notch or two, and they'll need to, go towards Shannon Lang. Didn't have the height, but he's kept his feet and he's laid the tackle, and it's going to be dropping the ball.
Yep.
It's going to be holding the ball. It's going to be a free kick. Good play by Shannon Lang, outnumbered, but kept his feet and then applied the tackle. The boundary line 5 metres to his right, so an angle that's worse than 45. They're 1 point down.
He's backing himself in here, Poppy.
Yeah.
I think if he kicks his goal...
He goes short. The option's on. He
no.
didn't quite meet. Hudson Holmes had run from full back and he had all the time in the world. Now McLaren gives it back to Whitehill. Whitehill to Martin. Martin from a standing start. I can't breathe. Then kick the point.
Minor score.
And the scores are locked up completely on 39 points apiece. And the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard at the 13.5 minute mark of the third quarter. Sale 6-3-39. Leongatha 5-9-39.
Cade Maskell now. Leongatha under a little bit of pressure. His kick might be coming back. In the front spot was Hudson Holmes. Kim Drew, though, was there. Said, I'll try and get it going back our way. Now Marriott rolls in the middle. There's a free kick. Ran too far.
Whoa.
Not so sure about that one, Box.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either, Scott. He seemed around probably his 10 before he hit his 15, before the umpire blew the whistle. So unlucky there for Marriott.
Hudson Holmes in the middle of Sale's main oval. Drives it straight down the middle. The target will be Brad Desson, and he had one bite at it. Couldn't get the second one. It comes to ground level. In the front spot is the Magpies. Harry Ronke was on the bottom of the pack.
They're bread and butter for full forwards. They should be just swallowing them too. And Brad Desson probably had more time than he expected, and he dropped what he should have taken.
Scores at dead level. 14-minute mark of the third quarter. Handball out there was from Lang. Here's Martin, who's starting to get a little bit busy. Good handball to McLaren. Tried to take on the tackler as McGannon. Holding the footy, Mason McGannon with a free kick. Half-back flank now for Leongatha.
So the sun shining bright.
Just step a little bit away from Boxer.
Yeah, I'm starting to get my
it's catchy
syllables all mixed up.
There's no need for that.
You've been good today, Boxer.
Have we got HR?
Yep, it's me.
Oh, okay. Can I put a complaint in?
Yep.
Here we go, Leongatha from half back to half forward. One-on-one contest. Nick Licino plays with my bottom, and I swoop that hand away. The ball's been taken by Jack Hume. He runs 10. He kicks from 25 around the body, and he says to the boys, how about that one?
Yeah. He's a star, Jack Hume. Been talking him up all afternoon, and he just finds that little bit of extra yardage as well for a bloke that's probably, what, 6'3", 6'4".
Moves good.
He moves really well, and he plays that wing beautifully because they've got that exit coming through him, and then that just had the smarts to run into an open goal and give it a nice banana kick. It was a great finish.
And that takes Leongatha back into the lead again. They've got a 6-point lead at the 15-minute mark of the third quarter, 6-9-45 to 6-3-39, and that's on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
The juicy chicken covered in a crispy, mouth-watering, spicy coating. You can try the McSpicy range at McDonald's now. And at Leongatha, as we said, just got their noses in front again. Back to the middle again is Leslie doing some ruck duties. Tapped it down. Drew was in there, so was Lang. Gathered it and then got tackled by Kim Drew. And we'll have another stoppage. Should also have a special shout out to the Sale ladies group feeding us.
I got heartburn.
Yes, they might be missing their leader, but they're doing a good job without her as well, as she's overseas.
I never seen Paul Cutter eat 12 party pies in a half.
McLaren will get this one out towards Tainch on the wing area. They squeeze a handball out to Lang, who's got a bit of room to move. His chipped little kick to Whitehill was nice. Will Whitehill turn and go? He decides to come back inboard to big Jack Leslie.
Oh, he just plays on.
Gets around Turton and unloads from 55. Jack Leslie, teeth of the goal square. Allison, the man who snapped his Achilles.
This could be one of the greatest comebacks of all time.
They've taped it up. Surely they've taped it. It's got plastic.
Allison will come inboard and do the team thing, and finding himself in the right spot is Josh Butcher.
Nice. Good
Allison
work.
Does the team thing well.
You can see that little bit of white patch on his leg there on Allison, where the plaster is. And he's done very well to come back.
Not many come back from a snapped Achilles, as Boxer alluded to in the first quarter. Meanwhile, Josh Butcher will have a shot at goal to get it back on level terms and misses. And on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard,
6-4-40 Sale. They trail Leongatha by 5 points. They are 6-9-45.
We wait for the ball to be brought back into play.
just missed the net.
Yeah, missed the net, and young lady now is bringing the ball back ever so politely.
Yeah, so our friends in blue over there at the back of the goals, they've been there all afternoon.
I have.
They've probably got it. I'm out and about doing a patrol.
No, there's no trouble at the ground today.
There's never any trouble in Sale anyway.
No, there's not. No, there's not, especially at the Sale Greyhound Club. As Leongatha come grandstand side. Here we go. Nicely done too. It's Trent McRae. Goes towards half forward. Will Leslie will be first player there. Can he keep the ball in? I don't reckon he could. I reckon he dragged it out. The umpire just couldn't see. Maybe blinded. Big fella, it was Leslie. Fed it off to Butcher. Butcher went inboard then to Whitehill. Whitehill gives to McLaren. McLaren gives to Johnston. Johnston kicks to open space, and now the race is on, and Tace is the only player in it. Takes a mark, settles.
Cooper Whitehill looks proppy coming off, Boxer.
Might be his Achilles as well, Scud.
Yeah.
We'll just keep an eye on that one. It's going through the team.
Thanks goes short.
It's contagious.
Lucky Ronke.
Wasn't he holding his elbow?
It could have been.
Ronke straight down the gullet here of Sale. Oh, taken out. Made it look.
No push.
I thought he made it look too obvious. Did Dixon, who's taken plenty of marks this afternoon, goes short. Just short of right half back. Another short option. This time it's Kim Drew, who takes the ball, plays on slowly. That could be dangerous. 1-on-1. Leslie brings the ball, front of the pack. Nicely done by Lang. Handballs held without. He's going to be advantaged, surely.
Yep.
And umpire says yes. Handball inboard. They're going to get themselves in trouble. I can see it from here. No, just quickly they got a handball away in desperation, and Diamond picked it up. Leslie outnumbered 2-1. Ball spills out the back. Wills takes the ball, finds a teammate who ducked into the tackle, and the umpire says, the umpire...
100 metres away.
The umpire from a long way away called it.
Yep.
And it was probably there, I must say, although the player with the ball, and I speak of Lindsay, went to ground. and brought the high tackle on as Maskell took the ball. He goes short and finds Jack Hume, who's kicked 3 this afternoon.
He does. He goes inboard towards Kim Drew. Gives it back by hand to Jack Hume. Runs to 60. Puts it into an open spot. A nice little area. Roved off the pack by Heppel. That's bread and butter by a class name and a class footballer at this level. Aaron Heppel gets his second of the afternoon, and the Parrots get out to double figures.
Yeah, great setup again. The man of the day at the moment is Jack Hume for me. 3 goals, but his assist outside, he's running that wing absolutely beautifully. So maybe Sale had to look at it and say, right, we need to tighten up here because he kicked the ball out to advantage. But the great swoop on there by Heppel, what a finish. And Leongatha, the class side, got themselves a little bit more breathing space.
They do, Boxer, at an 11-point lead to the Parrots at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter. The McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard has Leongatha at 7-9-51, leading Sale 6-4-40.
Oh, the big moment now for the Magpies. Have they got a response? They've only kicked 1 goal to 3 in this quarter. The margin, as we've just said, gets out to 11 points. It's all thanks to the Moore Bowling Club this afternoon. Leslie taps it forward. Here's McLaren bursting out. Delivery inside forward 50. Just a little too hot for Kane Martin. He follows it up. Maskell does well, though. Handballs to Kim Drew. His relieving kick. Can find Heppel on the wing if it bounces up for him, and it does now. And he rolls to his right, and he delivers beautifully. No, not quite to Tallenbrill.
Free kick downfield.
So Tallenbrill will get the free kick. 90 metres out from goal. As he rolls into it. Just comes inboard. Sun streaming onto the Sale main oval now this afternoon. As Brill will go looking for the ruckman in big Benny Willis. He didn't have to elevate off the ground much, but he did in the end. And a couple of inches is all it took. And he takes a nice mark in front of his eyes.
Yeah, they've just raised the bar a little bit now, Leongatha. Just that little extra cog they find every time they play. They're doing it right now, Scud and boys. And Ben Willis is not a renowned goal kicker. It was a great mark. We'll see how he goes from about 40 metres out.
He'll have to roll in now. He ends up kicking from 51 in the end. Gets underneath it. Goes on the last line. Hudson Holmes tapped it. Didn't quite keep it in. Oh, Lockie Wright kicked it into the foot of Jack Johnson. Minor score in the end. Paul Carter.
7-10-52. Leongatha, they lead by 12 points over Sale, who are 6-4-40 on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
So the remaining minutes of this third quarter and 30 minutes of the last quarter will tell you a little bit about this Sale side. At the moment, they've been pressured as Kane Martin's worked from forward 50 to defensive 50 to take that short leg and take the mark and then send it towards Jack Leslie, who's outnumbered 2-1. One of those two Leongatha players, is it? It is. Jackson Harry gives ground. They keep possession. They'll keep it inboard now. McGannon goes looking for and finds Willis. Play on's a call. What happened there? Didn't think that was play on. He gave it back to McGannon. Standing start. Threatens forward 50. Pushing the back. The umpire's onto it. Ball's kicked away. Leongatha want a 50. They won't get it. They'll have to kick from outside 50. They lead by 12 points. 2 straight kicks as they go inside forward 50 and out and out. Good work.
Jack Johnson.
By
Strong.
Jack Johnson, who's been good. He and Will Leslie and at times Jack Leslie have all been pretty good down there. And now Johnson towards the outer side, half-back flank. Johnny McGuinness front position, couldn't take the ball. They're just winning those 50-50 contests. But right now, Leslie is one of those defenders who's done well. They've got some room to move now, Sale. They need to make this one work. The 1-2 handball gains 30 metres, and that's where they've run themselves in and into trouble.
That was an easy handball to execute from Whitford, wasn't it?
Yeah, they could have gained another 50 metres, and who knows what could have happened from there, but instead the ball spilled out at their half-back flank. That's Sale's half-back flank, and Leongatha's half-forward flank. 23 minutes gone. Third quarter.
12 points is the margin. Down at ground level, here's Marriott. Took on the tackler of Wallace. Gave it to Heppel. Heppel steps inside 50. Gives it into McGannon. McGannon to Burns. Burns gets through some traffic. Gives it to McRae. Snap around the body. Doesn't quite get onto it. It's high. Brill sits underneath it. And Tallenbrill takes a mark. In the end, it's uncontested. And he'll go back only 15 metres out, Box.
Yeah, it's just fallen into place now for Leongatha. He had an opportunity then too to wheel around. But he opted to go for the snap, and Brill was in the right position. Just had enough space on his opponent.
So Tallenbrill 15 metres out, slightest of angle, goal scoreboard end of the ground, squeezes it home. It's his first of the afternoon, and now they've put the pressure on this Magpie side. They ask, have you got a response with 5 minutes to go?
They're like big wrestlers, Leongatha. Once they get hold of you and they start to pull away, they'll put the chokehold on you, maybe the sleeper hold. We might be looking for then, and they'll put you to sleep pretty quickly if you don't actually are able to respond, and say, or need to respond now. If they don't want this game to get ahead of them.
So it's 4-1 this quarter to Leongatha, and they now open up an 18-point lead over Sale on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. 8-10-58 Leongatha, 6-4-40 is Sale's score.
Like Mario Milano. Remember Mario Milano?
Yeah.
The sleeper hold on a
few plays. Well, he wasn't so smart when he met Brute Bernard. Ball now. McGuinness taps it forward, gains a metre or two. As Lang tries to dummy a handball, just hung on to it a bit too long. Free kick paid for holding the ball. Playing was the call, and a 50-metre penalty against Lang, who can become quite aggressive. He's not happy with that free kick.
That was aggression. I just think it was more frustration.
Yeah, that would be a better description.
He should have just got the ball off on his first instinct, and to get run down by the way he did, he would have been really, really disappointed with that.
This will be 5-1 if he nails this in the quarter.
Mm-hmm. Call the third quarter the premiership quarter, don't they? That leg off the boot. Yeah, there it is. Tell you what, that knife's in, and the first little turn has happened after Luke Bowman gets his first of the afternoon.
Yeah, there's a few dejected Sale players at the moment too. They just need to maybe just lift their heads a little bit. They've been playing well. It's just that they've let themselves down with a couple of, errors they wouldn't have found themselves doing in that first half, and now Leongatha have taken every opportunity of that and are finding themselves well ahead.
They are certainly that way. Boxer, they are 24 points ahead at the 26-minute mark of the third quarter. The McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard has Leongatha at 9-10-64, leading Sale 6-4-40.
Haven't had too many Zambrero Gold today's contender all early in the first half of football. We'll see if we can get a couple more for you. They need to come Sale's way, and they need to come pretty quickly.
So if they don't get the goals, do we get the voucher?
No, we've had a couple of contenders early.
Oh, okay.
No, you've got your voucher. Darryl looked after you a little while ago.
He did.
The new Zambrero store in Victoria Street in Warrigal, and also in Terrelgan as well. If you're driving, pop in as Cooper Whitehill wins the stoppage. Drives it inside forward 50. This could be their chance at the ground level. Ronke, Harry variety. Keeps it skinny, minus score. And the margin now back to 23 points on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. As Cade Maskell will bring it back in for the Parrots.
He will too. Leongatha kicking to the scoreboard end of Sale's home ground. Started off like a house on fire. Last 30 minutes they've burnt to the ground, unfortunately. As Leongatha on the grandstand side from the halfback flank have got a short option. That's Xavier Lindsay, who hasn't been the Parrots' worst either. Good young talent.
On the power list, and unlucky not to make the Vic Country side either. He's a great player.
He is indeed. Goes looking for Willis. A punch by Whitehill brings the ball to ground. Fights on. Who's going to get a handle on it? Trying desperately was Lockie Ronke. Now it spills out. A quick kick from the pack of players. Putting his head over the ball was Harry Ronke. He can't get out, despite some attempt to do so, and then he
just put Kim Drew down.
Put him down, and Drew accentuated the fall. Probably best to put that aggression towards the ball just at the moment and get your team back in the game. I suppose that's part of it, I guess.
Yep.
As Rowan Diamond edges the ball forward. Lang doesn't hang on to it too long this time. Still fighting hard to be in the contest. Backhands it back to the ruckman McGuinness. He's dispossessed. Bowman right on three-quarter time. Siren scores as we sit at three-quarter time with Darryl Cooling.
Yeah, 5-1 in the quarter for the Parrots. It is now Leongatha leading 9 goals, 10-64 to the Magpies, 6-5-41. It is three-quarter time. The margin now at 23 points in favour of the ladder leaders. Have the Magpies got one left in them to cause a bit of an upset, or will Leongatha run away with this one? We'll find out after the break. You're listening to Gippsland Live on TRFM. It's all thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland.
reasonably equal. Leading stat winners, Shannon Lang 24, Jack McLaren 24, Jack Leslie 18, Jack Johnson 17. They all had big quarters there. Tom Marriott 21 for Leongatha, 16 to Cade Maskell.
Well, let's get this final quarter underway as a big Benny Willis and Jonty Damon, guess it is, do the ruck duties. Willis will tap it straight down towards the midfielder there of Leongatha, and that was Heppel. And the umpire said, let's do it again. To ruckman. This time I'll give it to Dave McGuinness, but picking that off was Tom Marriott. Twist and turn, got back onto his right foot, kicks around inside forward 50. Whitford was back there for the Magpies, got it off his shin. Now he's under all sorts of pressure because Tallenbrell just picked his pocket. Left foot kick to the open sides, neat. And finds Aaron Heppel directly in front, 25 metres out box.
Yeah, this is where the floodgates open, Scud. Looks sounds like someone's having a dart around here somewhere because it just smells like we're burning.
I'm not sure it's a dart, might be something else. But anyway, Heppel will have a shot directly in front.
Yeah, he's been the catalyst in that third quarter to get this side running, and now he's got an opportunity to kick a goal first minute of the last quarter.
And puts it through the middle, and that just might be another nail because now all of a sudden it's out to a 29-point margin. Leongatha in total control. Heppel's got 3.
Yeah, unreal. And we said if they get the first one, it'll just open those floodgates, and I reckon sales afternoon might be just about done because once they get a hold of you, Poppy, she's all over.
She is indeed.
And we're on the Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard for the fourth quarter, and that's just taken 1 minute for that first goal to come to Leongatha. They are 10-10-70. As Darryl said, they are leading by 29 points over Sale, who are 6-5-41.
We'll update you on the game between Moe and Bairnsdale when we can, because obviously Bairnsdale with a win can creep into that top 5. They can get over the top of Moe.
Bit of percentage.
You're just trying to build up the excitement so the listeners stay with us. I'll teach you the merits of radio. And
McLaren.
Minutes ahead as McLaren burst his way through the pack. Martin overrun the ball. Leongatha clear momentarily. Oh, nice mark. Good little mark there by Rowan Diamond. And a one-hander and 50. So now he needs to make the Parrots pay.
He's hurt Hume as well, so he's bringing himself up. Might be another Achilles. We'll just have to keep an eye on that one.
Look, I think a knee knock, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon
just
a knee.
Clash of knees.
So he goes to the top of the square, basically, does Rowan Diamond, who hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon, and there'll be no excuses for missing this one. 5 metres out directly in front, bang, goal. So they've locked up that goal they lost, and now's the hard work starts. They need to get the next 2. If they can get the next 2, this game's alive.
Yep.
Yeah, agree too there, Poppy. I just want to make sure, though, one thing with Hume coming off, all jokes aside, he took himself off pretty much immediately as well. Either just to get himself off the ground to make sure that he can get a fresh player on the ground, or he's seriously hurt. He's gone straight into the bench, and hopefully everything's okay there because he's been one of the best for Leongatha this afternoon.
Well, that response came back a minute later, so it's a goal each in the first 2 minutes. 23-point lead to Leongatha on the Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard. The Parrots are sitting on 10-10-70, leading Sale 7-5-47.
Scott, if I can just quickly say, for all the Gippslanders out there listening and other games, if you're updating the webpage Play HQ, can you just update it quickly because we haven't had any really live scores since half time.
Yeah, disappointing. We'd like to get all the scores out there to all our listeners, so we need those live scores coming in. Of course, don't forget Harvey Norman, the best range and brands of Apple, Samsung, Nokia and Oppo and more.
Willis gets the tap down, but Lang will be first player there. Can he get a handle on it? He can. Can he find a teammate? He can. That teammate's in trouble. I thought dropping the ball.
Yep.
Umpire says you're right. They play on quickly. Do Leongatha through Brill. Short. Nicely done. They'll open the door up. Can they do it again? Aaron Heppel. He dances around one and kicks to the right of goals.
That would have been our Zambrero goal of the day.
It may well have been. So it's 4 straight kicks. Do the visitors lead by? Paul Carter?
Yeah, exactly right, Poppy. 24-point lead, 10-11-71 to Sale 7-5-47.
So Hudson Holmes, sun in his eyes, not too sure where to go. Looks up, wants to go directly down the middle of the ground. Big Jack Leslie camps in there. Just worked himself to the back of the spot. Well roved by McLaren. And his high kick towards Martin. At the ground level there is Glenane. He can twist around on the left foot. Kick it to some open space at half forward. Although Maskell's the first one back there for the Parrots. And for Traralgon Subaru, he's been good. He gets the clearing kick out to Kim Drew on the far side. Leongatha seem in total control at the moment. Inboard kick neat to Turton. The man they call Turtle actually got pinged for running too far. Comes inboard again to Forrester. A little quiet afternoon for Sam Forrester. He's normally one of Leongatha's best. This time his left foot goes in the direction of Jensen Garnham. Good body work early. and takes the mark on Jack Johnson. That's what a good forward does, box, body work, and then finds the drop zone of the footy.
Yeah, really important too to hold your ground, especially in those positions when it's critical, especially this time of the game as well. The game's getting late. The afternoon's getting late, I should say, and players are getting a lot tired. But he held his ground really well and a good mark. He just needs to finish it off now, Scott.
Jensen Garnham's got one this afternoon. We know that he's in calculations for goal-kicking awards with the league from 59. Just doesn't quite get onto a big fly from Talon Brill. He was about 10 deep and he took out 5 of them in front. Nearly got a hand on it.
Yeah, in the end, it looked like he fell off a building. He just lost all control there.
Minor score.
Yeah.
10-12-72. It's a 25-point lead for Leongatha over Sale, who are 7-5-47. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard 5.5 played last quarter.
All right, so Holmes goes short to Freedman, and Holmes wants to provide a shorter option. Freedman obliges. This time he finds his teammate Holmes outside defensive 50, grandstand side. They go short again, trying to thread their way through. Whitehill at half-back flank, 3 possessions, now 4. That's the most dangerous of them. Free kick will be paid.
That's awkward.
Landed awkwardly, took the body away, and Jack Johnston is the player we speak of. Around about left half-back flank. He's got an option to go short, chooses to go to centre half forward where Jack Leslie's the target. Ball spills down, Martin overruns it. First player there was Kim Drew. Plenty of players from both sides though there, and the umpire will eventually take control. You would think he does.
Hume's back on the ground too, fellas. Looks like it was a corky on the right side. Heavily taped up as well. Was pretty keen to get back on the ground.
So left half forward flank, Leslie v McGuinness. Leslie got the tap. Nicely done, holding the man for too long. In fact, a high tackle it was. Adjudicated. Goes the way of Kim Drew for Leongatha. Grandstand side.
Here's Hume.
He's got the running Jack Hume, who...
He looks very ginger too, Pop. I reckon I wouldn't be rolling the dice with him this late in the game. They've probably got the game won. And,
with a corky, though, Box, you want it to sort of keep moving a little bit, don't you? Just to maybe help it out for next week. You don't want it to sort of ice it up just yet.
Or he gets another knock and you can say goodbye to a few weeks.
Okay. Thanks, Doc.
Yeah. Well, I've already, diagnosed a few players today.
You have. You've been sensational today.
Thank you.
If you want to make an appointment with Dr. Lucchino, just call the station.
Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
Rocky.
Yeah.
And
No
Bob
problem.
was there. I feel a bit ill.
Yeah. Marriott! I think we've just got the Zambrero goal of the day while we were... I cannot believe it. Marriott just danced around a couple. It was as though it was going to be just another piece of play, and Marriott turned it from pig poo to raspberry jam, and it was a beautiful finish.
I'm going to call him Moses because he just parted the sea. No one actually got near him. No players. He just went bang and said, thank you very much. There's our Zambrero goal of the afternoon.
I do like it.
And it's a 31-point lead to Leongatha now at the 8-minute mark of the final quarter. 11-12-78 to 7-5-47. That's on the Harvey Norman computer.
Well, if he doesn't get it, we'll just take him home.
Don't forget, already offering a range of delicious, fresh Mexican food. They've now changed up their menu as well. The new toasted burrito, the signature burrito, and the one named after Boxer.
Yes.
The Kids Zambox. That's at Zambrero, Terrelgan, Feelgood Mex, and also Victoria Street in Warrigal as well. Lang from that stoppage. Handball missed the target. And then they kick it forward again through Kim Drew. Jack Ganane was there. He might be the first one. Marriott might just get another one. Left it behind for Ganane. He picks it up. Handball's inboard. Wallace is there for the Magpies. Got driven into the ground. Will win the free kick. Advantage won't be paid. Jack Johnson didn't exactly hit a target with the kick, so it's going to come back to Adam Wallace. And the Magpies are in desperate trouble. 31 points they trail by at the moment. Big moments for the Moore Bowling Club this afternoon. Head along for the $20 pot and Palmer night.
So Johnston plays on. Handballs to Holmes, who kicks towards right half forward flank for Sale. The home side now kicking to the scoreboard end. Sale 7-5, Leongatha 11-12.
I can give you a live score now from one game. Wonthaggi 16-10, 106 to Maffra 2-1-13.
Oh, 3 weeks in a row, the power have gone boom, boom, and boom. They're starting to come at this Leongatha side, who are starting to draw away from this Sale side as they enter forward 50 again. One-on-one contest, trying to reel it in one hand. Was Garnham, couldn't quite do it. The ball spills towards the boundary line again. Glenane over there. Jack Johnston sees the ball over the boundary line. 20 metres from Leongatha's goals.
Another score I can give you as well, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland. Bairnsdale 6-5-41. They trail Maui 14-6-90.
3/4 time in the Morwell game.
Yeah, and it's Warrigal 22. They trail Morwell 56.
Back here, we've got a boundary throw in inside Leongatha's forward 50 as they lead it by 31 points. 10 minutes in.
Leongatha, that's us, isn't it?
That's where we are.
Where we are, mate.
Yep, all afternoon from Sales Main Oval as Lang kicked around his body from that stoppage, tried to clear it out, but over the top, Cade Maskell has been one of the good performers. That's going to be the worry when we start to work out who is our Traralgon Subaru player of the day, because Leongatha has been very, very consistent across the board. Maskell's inboard kick to Jack Ganane was a daisy cutter, nice. And Ganane took it high. We'll have a shot on goal. So Jack Ganane hasn't got a goal this afternoon, a renowned goal kicker for this Leongatha side. Slightish angle, pretty much directly in front, kicking towards the hospital end of the ground. Man on the mark stands at about 43 metres, which will mean he'll have to kick it all of 50, you'd think. Very prodigious approach for Jack Ganane. Kicks it from 49, on its way. Distance is no worry. The accuracy, though, is off to the right. And it's a minor score on the Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard.
11-13, 79 is Leongatha score. They lead by 32 points over Sale, 7-5-47.
All right, Shannon Lang gets on the end of that ball, being brought back in from defence. Hudson Homan was the player that's been given the duty to bring the ball back in. Lang's kick, his disposal just hasn't been at the usual high standard today. I think that's the pressure around him. It's been pretty good. Leongatha now from left half back front. They go short. Marriott. He's been pretty busy. It's been a good contest between he and Lang. Thought it might determine the contest, but I don't think it has. Kicks to within 15 metres of goals. Oh. I think nearly caught with the ball was Whitford. The umpire says yes. I reckon he was unlucky. But Trent McRae will take the resultant free kick, and that's all that matters.
Did he get rid of the ball, though, Box? I thought it was a throw.
No, I think he got rid of the ball. I'm not sure. But it was a tackle that was a little bit later. And take nothing away, McRae's pressure was fantastic. Just think he might have a little bit of luck on his side to win this free kick. Just this crap rule now where you've got to stand still on the mark. And players get the opportunity to either loop or wheel or turn around. And the umpire, if you're not quick enough to call play on, you've got a free hit at it.
So McRae doesn't do any of those things. He runs straight at the goals and he kicks the goal. Nice finish by young Trent McRae to become the 8th goal kicker today for Leongatha.
Yeah, well, it made me look like a fool again. And it's one of those things where he was rewarded for his effort and he finished it off just as well. So there's another one to say goodnight to Sale for this afternoon.
It's a 38-point lead to Leongatha now. We've played 12 minutes into the final quarter. The Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard reads Leongatha 12-13, 85, Sale 7-5-47.
So this could be a massive blowout, Scud, because we're only been playing 13 minutes.
Yeah.
And they've skipped away, considering that Sale are in front.
Well,
only a quarter.
I reckon Sale kicked the first 3 goals. So since that time, it's been 12 goals to 4.
Wow.
It's been a domination.
You're right. You want me to move away?
I nearly said denomination.
Well, predominantly it has.
Yes, predominantly it has been. Thank you.
Destroyation.
Wheel around.
As Jonty McGuinness tapped it down. Gets out the side there where Patrick Tainch is there for the Magpies. Hamble over the top. Lockie Ronke seems to just sort of limp after that one. Bowman comes from the other direction strong and they jump on top of him. Let it go for a little while. Tainch got wrapped around the shoulder. Got a ball up.
I've just worked it out. He might have thought it was an amphibious boat where they've got the wheels as well.
Yeah. So there are examples.
There are some examples. See, I'm not that stupid.
Apology accepted.
Thanks,
you, Nick.
As dumped into the ground was Jonty McGuinness, and he didn't like it either. And he gets up and gives Lockie Wright a couple. He's won himself the free kick, though. Handballs off quickly to Hudson Holmes out the back. His kick was smothered. Comes the other direction there was McRae. Gives it to Wright again. Handball over the top to Jesse Burns. McRae got dumped by Jonty McGuinness. And he's down. Now they come to Jonty.
You reckon the card might come out?
No, it shouldn't. And in fact, I think Tom's playing to the crowd. There was actually nothing in that whatsoever.
Lockie Wright?
Lockie Wright. Nothing in that whatsoever.
Well, Jonty got dumped by Lockie Wright a couple of moments ago and then just got him back. So 1 and 1 equals 2. All fair.
Yeah.
So the old stuffing kicked out of him at the moment.
He's all right. He's tough. More importantly, though, Leongatha got the downfield and they're going to have a shot on goal. It's going to be, again, Trent McRae.
It's a beautiful kick, he is. He's a beautiful kick.
Youngster, comes up from the under-18 competition, still eligible to play in the under-18s.
Wouldn't think he'd run around, would you, Box?
I wouldn't have thought. After last time he did that, thanks, Paul Carter. For a bloke that I thought was on my side, you can get stuffed as well.
15 minutes in, Boxers here for Carpet Country this afternoon. Trent McRae's got one. Now Trent McRae still has one goal because that one started left and didn't quite work back enough. 15 minutes gone, margin 39 points, Paul.
And it's Leongatha 12-14, 86 to Sale 7-5-47 on the Harvey Norman computer scoreboard.
So Holmes, with sun shining in his face, goes straight down the corridor here at Sale, and he finds Leslie. He can't. Martin at the base of the pack tried to kick the ball out of mid-air, didn't quite make connection. The umpires picked a free kick. It's going to go Sale's way. It's going to go to McLaren. He's been probably Sale's best, or one of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plays on quickly towards half forward. Leslie again is the target. He provides the contest. They've got a few Sale players at the base of the ball to get the first opportunity, but they just can't get a handle on it at the moment. And around about right half forward flank, or nearing that position, the umpire will take the ball and choose to ball this one up. 16 minutes gone, final quarter. Leongatha 12-14, Sale 7 goals 5.
At the stoppage, Diamond got slung around in the tackle. Play continues. Now the umpire will ball it up. 16 minutes into the final quarter. Leongatha have been challenged early. They've responded very well, as Poppy said earlier. They've only allowed Sale to get 4 goals since they got the opening 3 in the first quarter. Inside 50 they go, Magpies, but Lindsay for the Leongatha side. Picks it off, looks up, chips it inboard, nicely done. At the feet there of Borshman. Comes through, does McRae. Borshman has to go again and hard and win it. Wrapped up now is Lockie Ronke in a tackle, or Lucky, as we have another stoppage in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, they're just trying to change their structure a little bit. So Jack Leslie finds himself now at full forward with Brad Descent playing a little bit higher. So they're not winning the ball.
Look how crowded they are there, though, like this.
Very crowded.
And you look at the other end, Leongatha.
Yes.
It's one inside forward 50, 2 outside of it, and they've got plenty of room to move. Hume got one over the shoulder from Diamond, the free kick, and down in the middle of the ground.
McLaren.
Yep. So Jack Hume won the free kick at half back, caught one around the head. He's got a corky as well. 17 minutes in.
There's enough of that,
Squares the kick out wide to Kim Drew. Kim Drew looks up. They present. Really, the sting's completely gone out of this game now. Even Leongatha want to get it done. We've only travelled 17 minutes. Chip towards the boundary line. Is going to miss Turton's head. And out of bounds on the full.
It's one of those games you thought it would have been a lot more closer than what it is, and then Leongatha is just showing their class as well so far in this game.
So Diamond drives it in, and big Jack Leslie will take the mark. Directly in front, 15 metres out from goal. The Magpies desperately need one. They've got one in the quarter. They want to get another.
It's definitely an understatement there, Scud. This is where Jack Leslie needs to really finish, just to give that scoreboard a little bit more respectability, because at the moment, like Poppy just said, 4 goals since quarter time ain't real great.
No guarantee here.
Jack Leslie's been good.
Good work.
And that is a guarantee. Goes through the middle. It ends up on the road.
That's okay. The young kid's going to grab it. He'll run down Raglan Street and won't see that footy again.
Got to be careful there. Jack Leslie gets his first of the afternoon.
And that brings the margin in Leongatha's favour back to 33 points, and we've played 18 and a half minutes into the final quarter. The Harvey Norman computer scoreboard, Leongatha 12-14, 86, leading Sale, who are 8-5-53.
Waiting for the ball to make its way back from the...
Kids have got to be careful on that main road, of course.
Yeah,
They do.
Yeah.
Traffic stopped.
Looking for a score from the Traralgon game. Haven't had a score since half time when it was 72-38. So if you're listening out there for anyone from Traralgon, feel free to message Poppy or Scud or me.
Send them through.
Just send them through.
Might be time that we get the secondary ball, perhaps, because this is taking a little bit longer than expected.
That's the Burley.
Yeah, bring back the Burley.
We can let you know the Tigers are in control of their game around the grounds, all thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. Don't forget, huge furniture clearance on now. Massive savings on lounges, recliners, dining room furniture, home office desks, outdoor furniture as well, barbecues, outdoor kitchens, you name it. Everything on the go at the moment, all thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. It is the Tigers leading 68 to Warrigal 29 down there at Western Park.
All right, the ball back. Here we go. thanks to the young girl who threw the ball back over the fence. So, Leongatha with control of this game, 5 goals, 3 in front, and we're deep into the final quarter, 20 minutes almost gone. It'll be McGuinness, who's been pretty good, Dane McGuinness, up against the big man in Ben Willis, who you'd say has got the edge and had the edge then. Yep. Taps it down to Marriott. Marriott held without the ball, or at least he played for that. Lang took one and then gave it to McLaren, the handball. Leslie off the half-back flank, ran, kicked towards the half-forward flank. From brother to brother, fell to the base of the pack, and now a kick to within 10 metres. Be nice for them to get another one. They're going to have a really good opportunity here. Good pick-up, kick around the body. I reckon was that by Harry Ronke. Goes to the top of the square, but Leongatha, composed under pressure, take a mark in the last line of defence.
Xavier Lindsay's the one.
What do they say? If you ask, you will receive.
Yes.
Thank you to Justin Palmer. Traralgon 18-8, 116. Druin 8-13-67.
Well, so one-way traffic there as well. As Burns grabs the ball, determines that he's got enough time to draw the man and handball, pin,
beautiful
point,
handball.
Perfect handball, finds his teammate there, and it was a nice handball to Garnham. Garnham goes towards goal, and he kicks a goal. So nice work by Lockie Wright, it was in the end, and Leongatha answer Jack Leslie's goal from a few moments ago and extend that lead out again.
It's one of those things, it was pinpoint perfect, wasn't that a handball? Yeah. And the kick was even better because he just kicked it to advantage Garnham, and a great finish there too by, was it right? Was it?
Yeah, in the end, yeah. Garnham's, it could have gone through, but it landed in the hands of Lockie Wright with a couple of metres out.
I suppose if I was full forward, I would have let it go.
You would not have.
Please.
Yeah, 21 minutes played in this final quarter. The Harvey Norman computer scoreboard shows a 39-point lead to Leongatha, 13-14-92 to 8-5-53.
You wouldn't even leave a boat wheeling around go.
You can't let it go.
Tap down there, this time by Willis. He does his groundwork again. Tunnel balls it through his legs. Marriott wrapped up in the tackle, but got his handball away from Lang. Heppel's kick out in the front of Hume, moving nicely. You leave him out there so he's right for next week. As Hume now gets it, looks inboard, ignores Kim Drew. Has a look down the boundary and now goes, well, okay, Kim, I'll give it back to you. You persisted with your talk and you're presenting, and after 3 occasions, he got the footy. Right on the wing in front of the grandstand, 22 minutes gone, last quarter. Drew's kick out in the front of Garnham. One mitt, couldn't keep it in. Freeman looks to have gone back. Give a handball back to Hudson Holmes. McLaren back to Freeman. His kick goes inboard. Dangerous spot. Shepherding. And the free kick will go Leongatha's way. It's Forrester, Sam variety. Chips it to Cade Maskell.
He does. Maskell right half forward flank, right in front of our Gippsland live commentary position. It's Rob Popplestone with Daryl Cooling, Paul Carter, Nick Lacinio. He goes towards the right half forward flank.
Jack Hume wrapped up in the tackle.
Don't really appreciate the way you've pronounced my name there. And
did we forget Paul Carter?
No, he was third. I was last.
23 minutes gone. 39 points is the margin, Leongatha. Hume comes off for his rest.
He needs it. He's limping around.
Willis and McGuinness. I'll give it the tap to McGuinness. Out the back, Holmes. Gives a handball inboard to Lang. Over the top handball to Allison. He goes back to Lang. Burns tried to get him. He got a handball away, though, to Lockie Ronke. Barrels at 60 metres. It's a wobbler. And it's marked out there by Jackson Harry, who kicks it straight back to his opponent in number 7, Cooper Whitehill. For Sale. Puts it back. It's 3-on-1. And the 3 wins. And it's a youngster out there, Xavier Lindsay, takes the mark, squares it out to McRae.
All right, McRae from right half-back flank takes a bounce. Only ran 2 metres before he bounced and then runs 15 now. Kicks long to space. Can he find a teammate? He can. It's going to be Glenane that reads it out the back. Handballs over the top. He doesn't quite find a man. Jack Johnston cuts it off, gives it to Will Leslie with 20 metres before in front of Leongatha's goal. He handballs in turn to Ronke. And now they'll work their way out of trouble, or will they? They do. Player with the ball is Sanderman. Gave ground, keeps possession. And I tell you what, Lang will get on the top of it, but more with luck than anything else. He was taken high. So a free kick will go Lang's way from the half-back flank.
Just watching the Leongatha side, they're still hunting in numbers. We've played 25 minutes, and they really suffocated the ball inside their forward 50s to make sure that Sale couldn't get it out.
And Lang now changes direction. There is some room to move here. If they run hard, Freeman dances around, gives to McLaren. He can handball over the top or kick to space. Kicks to space. Now they can run this one all the way through to goals if they like. Ellison's the player with it. Taps it on the ground and then kicks long. He'll be looking for Leslie, but he's outnumbered 3-1. One of those is Ben Willis, who takes a pretty easy mark in the end. Stood his ground at the front of the pack and took a good mark.
Big as a house. You're not going to get past him.
Well, we had big Ethan East last week, all the route. And now we've got as big as a house, big Ben Willis. They go lateral. Forrester got it to Maskell. He's down in front of the pass players hill here at Sale. Maskell.
Those things, though, Scud, though, you know, the bigger players don't get any shorter late in the game,
no.
You know, so, yeah, he just presented himself really well then.
Dixon got the kick out to Xavier Lindsay. Lindsay's kick, nice, neat one. And he finds a teammate in the sun. A little bit hard to see on that far side of the ground. Looks to be Jackson Harry. His kick come off the toe. Didn't travel too far. Sale have got some numbers. They get a handball back, but then they just cough it up. They give it straight to Big Right. Somehow they get the ball back in their hands. Lang has it now at half forward. Kicks to Johnny McGuinness. Top of the 50 it is. Directly in front. He'll turn and look. Where's his options? Jack Leslie's one of those. He's got 3 to beat again, Big Jack. They big spoil it down. Comes to ground level, Brad Desson. Gave it to Martin. Left foot snap around the body, misses. And it is a minor score. 26 minutes gone. Last quarter of the Harvey Norman computer scoreboard.
Is a 38-point lead to Leongatha. 13-14-92 to Sale 8-6-54.
It's the ball in the hands of Cade Maskell.
So Maskell to bring the ball back in for the Parrots. He's going to choose to come grandstand side. Grandstand side is what we want. Still defensive 50. And they clear the area.
Bit of a stalemate then.
Bit of a cause for concern. As it spills over the boundary. Just a private joke there. You like that one, Scott?
That was very good. Very, very good, Poppy. As maybe the last result at Flemington might just be exactly that. From the stoppage, Patrick Tainch gave a handball back to Jack Johnson. He kicks it towards Harry Ronke. They went backwards 30 metres. Certainly the fizz gone out of this game. Ronke's gone to Cooper Whitehill. Whitehill goes inboard on top of Wallace's head, marks it, gives a handball off to Hudson Holmes. He can roll and go. Right foot wobbly kick. Martin's there. There's a hold. Free kick will go to Kane Martin. This Sale side, we know they're building. They're going to hold on to 5th spot, we'd think. Bairnsdale, we're not sure how they're travelling. The Tigers are going to win, so they're going to put a little bit of pressure on the Magpies, but they'll hold on to 5th spot. They've got a couple of players to come back into this side. And the biggest one, probably Jordan Desson, if he can come back from that little slight hiccup.
Yeah, with 4 wins, though, Scud, they've really got something to hold on to here. Not much.
Well, Kane Martin's left foot shot. He's got 2 this afternoon. He's got 3. And the veteran continues to play his role up forward for the Magpies this afternoon. He's got 3 in Sale's 9 goals.
Yes, that goal takes Sale to 9-6-60 at the 28-minute mark of the final quarter. They are trailing Leongatha, who are 13-14-92, and that's all on the Harvey Norman computer scoreboard.
Paul Carter, when we were here last year and it rained, and we had that water on the far side, what was that thing we were looking for?
The moat.
The moat.
What? A moat.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why you spit on both me and Scud at the same time?
We've just had a shower in the box.
That is just disgusting.
I got excited because I didn't know what a moat was.
You didn't know that the QE2 could turn either, or wheel.
Has it got wheels?
It wheeled around. That's a... Back to the middle they go. Johnson tapped it down and then gave it back to Marriott. Kicks to half forward. Burns was there. Did a little party trick through his legs. Gave it to Turton. Now he coughed it up. Out the back there is Drew. Right foot kick. Top of the square. Nicely. Out it goes. Out in the front of Trent McRae. He can turn the youngster. He just left it behind. He fights well. He kept his feet. He gets to 40. He has a bounce. He wants the Zambrero goal and a contender.
There it is.
Trent McRae, you can have it. There it is.
Bang, 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 bang. That was the goal that we were looking for, Poppy.
It was.
It was done by the youngster as well. And to do that this late in the game, to turn on a threepence as well, he done that with absolute elegance and class, young McRae. And there it is. There's your winner of the Zambrero goal of the day.
Marking it down.
Just put it down. Put his name on it.
And that's a 38-point lead. Maybe indeed the final winning margin, I think, at the 29.5-minute mark of this quarter. 14-14-98 Leongatha. Sale a 9,660 on the Harvey Norman computer scoreboard.
I made to spit on you guys. That was just
That's all right.
Apology accepted,
There's a fair bit there. Isn't there?
There is.
I need a towel. Sorry about that.
Anyway, ball thrown up and Willis gets the first tap. McLaren feeds it off to Lang. Look away handball to McGuinness.
Oh.
He went searching for, couldn't find Jack Johnston. Coming through from the half-back line.
Been good,
was Maskell. Has been good. Geez, they look slick, don't they, when they move the ball quickly. And on the end of it, Glenane goes out the back. First player there is going to be Freeman. They're throwing a few things around this Sale side to see what might work. Freeman from half forward to half back gets taken over the boundary line with the ball, and so there'll be a boundary throwing. Just metres from Leongatha's goals deep into this last quarter. We've gone past the 30-minute mark now. Remembering we lost the ball on Raglan Street for a moment, but even that, given there hasn't been I suppose they've kicked 5 goals this quarter, Leongatha. Sale have kicked 3 themselves. Freeman has the ball as we speak. Defensive 50, just gets his kick away. Outside and then back inside forward 50. Marriott got a handball. Goes backwards. They keep possession. And now towards centre half forward. Who's going to be the first player there? I think you'll find that's Forrester. He can't get a clear handball away. He'll have a second chance, and from that left leg, he'll kick to the top of the square and easy. Geez, I thought a mark, otherwise interference, but the umpire says play on. Freeman head over the ball, grabs the ball, and then he's taken ball and all. The umpire will take control.
Well, it is certainly rolling down. 31 minutes have gone. There's a bit of a stoppage happening right in the top of the goal square. Can Leongatha get another one before this final siren? Jack Johnson says no, I'll kick it out to the top of the 50. Relieve a little bit of pressure. It's coming back. Cade Maskell might just be joining us after the game as well. His high kick goes to the pocket where Will Leslie takes the mark. Tip it over the top to Jack Johnson. And the margin sits currently at 38 points at the 31.5-minute mark as the final siren sounds. Leongatha run out 38-point winners for round 10 of the Linter Energy Gippsland League. We're going to take a break here on TRFM, and we're going to come back. We're going to have an interview with one of the star players from the Leongatha side. We'll go through all the post-game, get you up to date with all the scores from around the grounds, and this is Gippsland Live, right here on TRFM for Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland.